Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, June 20th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Cleveland Guardians. Game number 3 in the set, the rubber match. First pitch will be here in about 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and I'll get into the starting lineups. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb on the left, we have Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. And maybe he'll end up getting into the game a little late, pinch hitting, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. And on the right, another all-star, Jose Ramirez. Let's go, baby. Let's start it off with the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, playing shortstop, J.B. Crawford. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. Batting second, playing third base, it's Demo Dylan Moore. Batting third, playing center field, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up, baby. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching this morning for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting fifth, DHing for Seattle, Ty France. Batting sixth, playing right field, Mitch Hennigan. Batting seventh, playing first base this morning, Tyler Locklear. Batting eighth, playing left field for Seattle, Victor Robles. And batting ninth, playing second base, Ryan Bliss. And on the mound for the M's with a 6-7 record, trying to get to 500. Started off the year 0-4, but has picked up the pace. Luis Castillo. And if we have any chance to be even able to stay close today, we're going to have a good performance out of Luis Castillo, 6 to 10 Ks. He's got to pitch 6 innings plus, and hopefully he ends up having a decent outing and the bats will come alive. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and we need Luis Castillo to go 6 innings if we have any chance to be able to win, and not only today, but to win the series. Let's go, Luis. And let's get into the starting lineup for the home Cleveland Guardians. Leading off for the Guardians, approaching 400 in his batting average. He is amazing. Left fielder, Steven Kwan. Big home run yesterday to give us that ass whooping of 8-0 yesterday. Hopefully Steven Kwan, at least for Mariner fans, does not go yard today. I see you, Steven. Batting second, playing second base for Cleveland, Andres Jimenez. Batting third, the all-star. Today he decides to suit up and DH, Jose Ramirez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing first base, Josh Naylor. Ended up going yard twice last night. Obviously keeping up the pace with Steven Kwan. Batting fifth, catching today for the Guardians, David Fry. Batting sixth, playing right field, Will Brennan. Batting seventh, playing third base for the Guardians, Daniel Schneeman. Batting 8th, playing center field, Tyler Freeman. And batting 9th for the Guardians, playing shortstop, Ryan Rocchio. And on the mound for the Guardians, one of their studs, 7-3 record, an ERA of 5.30, Logan Allen. Let's go, Mariners. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday morning. And again, usually we don't do too many of the streams when the Mariners end up playing at 9:30, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Sometimes at noon or 1, just depending on the viewership. And I knew it might be a little bit light, going in. But again, I'm the only one that does pretty much almost every single Mariner game. So if you're looking for a source to cover the Mariners full time, it's me. And again, I figured I'm going to try to shoot for about 140 out of the 162 games during the regular season. And since I've missed a couple of the morning matchups, I normally watch the game with Paisley in the morning and kind of run errands. But I figured I woke up extra early. We went for a long 45-minute walk. It seems like it's going to be a hot day in Oregon. The sun was out. The birds were chirping. Me and Paisley had a great walk. So I said, you know what? Let's get it going. Let's do this. And then I can spend the rest of the day with her. And then we'll be back at it tomorrow, obviously, for a later matchup. And we're going to start a 3-game set with the Miami Marlins. And then after that, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then we play the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's going to be a long grind. I didn't want to take a day off. Your boy always hustles and grinds. And here I am. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday morning. And again, like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that I've gone through, and I know a lot of y'all are going through it right now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. And I know it's tough, but again, if you cut back, on the fast food and the soda, and cut back on the partying with the booze and the beer, and you exercise a little bit more, try to eat a little bit healthier, even though we know it costs a little bit more to eat healthier than going to Taco Bell and getting a bean burrito for $1 or $2, right? But if you end up making those minor adjustments by exercising a little bit more, eating a little bit better, right, listening to music, and hanging out with people like the NWSF for your positivity and your mental health, you'll be really surprised that you can get back on track a lot sooner in your life. So make sure you're not ignoring your mental health. You only have one. Let's go, baby. Mariners and Guardians rubber match. We're going to get going here with the first pitch in roughly 2 minutes. And again, 44-32 record, first place in the American League West, 45-26, first place in the Central. This is going to be something. Again, Luis Castillo, 15 starts, 6-7 record, 3.32 ERA. I am ready. Let's go, Luis. Let's get it, baby. Daniel in the building. What's good? How are you? Eric in the building. What's good? Jacob in the building. What's good? How are you, man? Let's go. And again, a little early of a start. I normally don't do streams typically this early, but again, I want to make sure that we're watching a first place team versus a first place team. I would assume that the Guardians are going to win today because the Mariners are not a very good morning or early afternoon team. But if we do find a way to end up winning this, it would be huge for us. The Guardians ended up already winning the first series, 2 games out of 3 in Seattle. And that last rubber match, they won 8-0. And then coincidentally, game number 2 last night, they won 8-0. So I highly doubt that we're going to lose 8-0 back-to-back, but we'll see where it goes. Game number 1 here in Cleveland, we won 8-5. It was a battle. Game 2, we lost 8-0. So I'm hoping that this will end up being a good matchup. And in all honesty, I hope it ends up being like a 5-4 game. And then whoever ends up winning it obviously deserves it, at the end of the day. But that's what I'm hoping for. A good quality matchup back and forth. Maybe not a whole lot of runs and hits early on with the pitching staff, with Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners, as well as Logan Allen with his amazing record, 7-3 record, and a 5.30 ERA. But we'll see where it goes. And again, GG to all the Guardian fans that are watching. I totally respect y'all. And again, there's 5 main players in the American League, and you're watching 2 of them right here. You got the Baltimore Orioles, the New York Yankees, the Seattle Mariners, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Kansas City Royals. And if I had to throw another team in there, probably the Minnesota Twins. So out of those 5 or 6 teams, not including the Twins, out of those 5 teams, one of those teams is going to go to the World Series this year in the American League. And then in the National League, you got the Braves, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Brewers, and then there'll be one magical team that makes a run a little bit late. We don't know who it is yet. So those are the best 9 teams, that are in Major League Baseball right now. So again, 44-32, first place American League West Mariners, 45-26, first place American League Central. We're in Progressive Field. Get buckled up and let's go, baby. First pitch to J.P. Crawford, high in the zone, called a ball, thank God. And the umping yesterday was fucking terrible. J.P. Crawford got ejected. But the Mariner fans are the best. Right up the middle to J.P. for a single. Hell yeah. There we go. And Mariner fans are the best because anytime that we have a fucked up ejection on a player, the Mariner fan base will order a pizza and get it delivered, on the road, through whoever, Pizza Hut or wherever it may be. And that's exactly what happened last night, and it's on our socials. So our Mariner fan base is undefeated. We take care of our players and our coaches. Nice hit by J.P. Crawford right up the middle to make up for yesterday's ejection. Next up, third baseman, Demo Dylan Moore. That one was about 6 inches to a foot off the plate. Inside, called a strike. Let's go, Demo. We got J.P. Crawford at first, and I'm really happy that J.P. got a hit early on just because, the ump, I don't mind if the ump is not very good, and this ump is calling the strike zone a little bit bigger for Logan Allen. That's the second pitch that should have been a ball but called strike. But again, every ump is going to have a different type of strike zone. So hopefully they call it right down the middle for both teams and not just for the Guardians like they did yesterday. But let's be honest, even if they would have called it 50-50, right, we would have still lost 8-1 or 8-2 yesterday. DXPO in the building. What's good, brother? $10 dono. Said, would a new batters coach help the Mariners not strike out as much? Of course. Pitch is inside, 1-2 count. I think if I could choose one guy, but obviously he's retired. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got a wife. He's got dogs. He's got, a lot of stuff going on in his life. But he is kind of hovering around the Mariner organization. I believe he has a house in Japan as well in Seattle. Back. Demo gone. Woo! Let's go. Yeah. Let's go, baby. Yeah, right out of the gates, DXPO with a $10 dono and a Demo 2-run blast. Let's go, Mariners, 2-0 Seattle. Woo, let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Make sure you're smashing the like button. We want to try to get to 20 likes to 30 likes on the stream and 100 in the donos. And make sure you're liking and retweeting on the live stream as well. Wow, baby. Demo, let's go. 2-0 Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, baby. But I would like to have Ichiro, as the batting coach. But I know that's probably not going to happen just based on who he is. But he does help out in the Seattle organization when he's in Seattle, right? But I feel that if he was there every day and they ended up helping him out, every day, I guarantee the batting averages would go up and we would go from a team batting 200 to 220 to maybe up to 250 to 260, like some of the really good teams. Julio, oh, baby, diving catch in the outfield, robbing Julio Rodriguez. Or did that end up dropping, or did he end up getting that hit there? Oh, wow, he dropped it. There we go. We're on a nice streak here against Logan. Hell yeah. DXPO, appreciate you very much, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. But yes, a new batting coach would help, but also what would help is just getting a couple guys, at the trade deadline. And he did drop it. Hell yeah. There we go. Nice job. Julio. Next up for the Mariners, catcher Mitch Garver. I don't think I've seen 1, 2, 3 get a hit back to back in a long time for the Mariners. Can we keep it going at batter number 4? Backup catcher Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. I love this. And we need a little bit of payback and revenge for that 8-0 shellacking that we got yesterday. You guys got a lot of joy, seeing the Mariners look like shit yesterday. It's our time today. Let's go. Hell yeah. Trident's up, baby. Top of the first, 2-0 Seattle. Julio at first. Pitches inside. 1-1 count. And we'll see how this ump ends up calling that. Let's go, baby. Let's go, M's. But again, getting another bat or two and another, bullpen guy would definitely help us out. We got a very good pitching staff. Bullpen could use a little bit of work, but we definitely could use another bat or two. Even if it's only one bat, it could really help us out in the lineup. Let's go, Mitch. Let me know what you want to do for photos. DXPO. Appreciate you. I got you. Let's go. That wasn't anything that I was expecting right out of the gates. I definitely did not expect the Mariners to, get that hot that early, but it is what it is. And we're not a very good team in the morning. Chopper on the 3-1 count. And a double play. Wow. Good defense there by the Guardians. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Ty France. Let me know what you want to do for photos. Appreciate y'all. Let's go, baby. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do help your boy out. And we got, what do we got? 11 people watching on the YouTube side, 16 on the Twitter/X side. So out of the 10 people that are watching on YouTube, you have access to comment and like the stream. So for those other 3 that haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We'd love to be able to at least get to 10 likes by the first hour and then try to get somewhere between 20 and 30 by the end of the broadcast. Let's go. 2-0 pitch to Ty France. 3-0 count. Let's go, baby. I like that. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 3-1 count. Great start for the Seattle Mariners, man. I wasn't expecting this, but again, we're not a very good, morning team or early afternoon team. We're really, really struggling in that category. Little chopper, throw to first, and there it is. Go to the bottom of the first inning with a 2-0 lead. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. Scotty Mack in the building. What's good? You want Cubs, Anthony Rizzo? I got you. Let's go. I got a World Series celebration and a few photos for you. Let's go. Cubs got some of the best looking uniforms in Major League Baseball. I've always liked the colors of the blue, red, and white with the pinstripes. It's beautiful. Riz, before he ended up joining the dockside with the Yankees. Getting over that curse and getting that championship. Appreciate you, my guy. See if I can squeeze in one more for you. See if we can get one with his last name as he's swinging for like a home run. Here we go. Perfect. Appreciate you, my guy. Woo! Let's go. Hope you enjoyed those. Next up for the Guardians, leading off, almost batting 400, Steven Kwan. And if he gets, 1 or 2 for 4 today, he'll be batting over 400. So we'll see what Luis Castillo can do. And again, he started off the year a little raw, 0-4. So even though he's 6-7 now, pretty good considering an 0-4 start for your number 1 pitcher. And we're in first place right now. Bottom of the first, Steven Kwan in the box. Chop that one foul, 0-2 count. Scotty Mack in the building. What's good? Elliott in the building. What's good? Nice. Keep me updated. Let him know, Elliott. Oh, Kwan crushes that. Back, all the way to the wall. That should be a double for Steven Kwan. Wow, Steven Kwan, what a stud. Luis Arise and Stephen Kwan, those are the two best hitters in baseball right now. And again, you don't really see guys batting 400 or in the high 300s that often. And amazing, man. I got nothing bad to say about the Guardians overall or a guy like Stephen Kwan, an Asian sensation dominating the game. I love it. Next up for the Guardians, second baseman Andres Jimenez. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners. And if you're just tuning in, J.P. Crawford got a hit, obviously to start off the matchup, and then Dylan Moore homered to left 418 feet to give us the 2-0 lead. And we're a terrible morning and early afternoon team. So if we play at 9, 10, 11, or noon, we're fucking terrible. But if we play at 1, it's usually we'll win maybe 25% of the time. And then usually if it's like 4 o'clock or after, we're much better. That's when we, play our best ball. Usually at 7 o'clock Pacific, the late game, or sometimes around 4 or 5 o'clock Pacific time. So, but usually anything in the morning, we're garbage. So I'm very shocked that we're up 2-0. Luis Castillo pitches outside to Andres Jimenez, 1-2 count. Let's go, baby. What happened yesterday? Anything that you watched yesterday on that side? I liked your post on Instagram. I always like your posts, man. You're very original. You're an original OG like me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't give a fuck about anybody else. You're gonna do you. So you'll have like a nice sunset background setting, maybe a photo of you mixed into the mix. And what you're up to that particular day. Obviously, with the records or the music. I feel that we vibe on a different type of level compared to some of the others on the channel. You love music the way that I do as well. And again, it's like a wide genre of music. We both, have appreciation for hip hop, but sometimes it's more than just hip hop and going a little bit deeper to find those original artists that we really like. For me, like finding that Outcast type of, group, back when I was young, it definitely defined me and changed me because, of course, growing up with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Tupac and Biggie and Bone Thugs, those were my first 5 CDs. But then when I got into Outkast, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit to something a little bit different and unique. And I feel that you're that same way. Appreciate you, brother. 3-2 pitch from Luis Castillo to Andres Jimenez. Crushes it over Locklear's head. Juan holds up at third base. We got runners on the corners on first and third against Luis Castillo. Let's go, baby. Good start for both teams here this morning. Let's go. Appreciate you, Elliot. Thanks for the like and the share. And again, if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And if you got a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid like Elliot and Matt did. And like the stream and share it. It'll help us get more people here in the room. And we only need a few more subs to be able to get to 20,300. I believe we only need 6 going into the stream. So we've been making some good ground. First pitch chopped away from Jose Ramirez. 0-1 count. Yeah, we need 6 subs to 20,300. So we've been doing really well lately. Let's go. In the box for the Guardians, an all-star, DHing today instead of playing third base, Jose Ramirez. I love his game. He's like Cal Raleigh, switch hitter, good defender, does it all. And he can do pretty much anything for the team that they need. Ryan Bliss, Victor Robles coming in. There we go. 1 away. We got lucky there. Next up for the Guardians, first baseman Josh Naylor. And he ended up going yard twice yesterday. Hopefully, we can find a way to contain him today. I see you, Naylor. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Try to get 20 to 30 likes. Normally, I shoot for 30 to 50. But when you start a stream at 10 in the morning Pacific, you would assume that the viewership would be slightly lower, but we got 35 people watching, which is pretty good for a 10 a.m. Live stream. And then if the game gets close as the day goes on, maybe we'll get into the 50, 60, 70, 80 range, especially if it's close in the 8th and 9th inning. All right, bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners with a Demo homer in the top of the first, with him and J.P. Crawford scoring. We got runners on the corners with 1 out, 1-0 pitch to Josh Naylor. Chopper Double play. Tagged him. I guess not a double play. We got one. Oh, did we get it? There we go. Double play secured. There we go. And we actually hold that runner. Oh, did they end up scoring? Yes, they did. So they ended up scoring the run, and then we ended up getting the out at first and tagging the runner. So it is 2-1 Seattle. Nice job by the Guardians, to be able to sneak in and get that run, as that rundown was happening, instead of just having it being two guys stranded on the corners. All right, Naylor grounded into the double play. And we'll take that. Again, it could have been much worse there. And again, I was hoping for a 5-4 game. Whoever wins, wins. And we're looking like we're pacing like that. And we got action already, which is nice. We obviously want our pitchers to do a little bit better than this. But again, as a baseball fan, no one wants to see 0-0 all the way into the sixth inning. It's cool if the pitchers are doing great and it's like a strikeout duel, a pitcher's duel where each guy's got like 10 Ks or 9 Ks each. But after getting your ass kicked 8-0, it feels kind of good to be able to put up some runs and hits early. And we have a nice early 2-1 lead at the end of the first inning. Let's go to the top of the second and see who's up for the Mariners. Let's go. Leading off for the Mariners, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. Batting second, playing first base, Tyler Locklear. And batting third, left fielder, Victor Robles. And obviously this lineup that we have in, and usually when we have a rubber match, it's usually like our shittiest lineup. So right now the lineup is, probably a C lineup. But even with that being said, if we can get any production, anything out of Locklear, Robles, and Bliss, we might have a chance to keep it close in this matchup. Nice. At least you're getting some votes with your guys. Cal Raleigh is 10th in voting in the American League, which is ridiculous. There's only two catchers that are as good as him or better than him. Salvador Perez on the Royals and Adley Rutschman, obviously number one. But again, people don't understand how good, obviously Cal Raleigh is. But again, once the Mariners start making the playoffs year in and year out, then I think he'll get a little bit more recognition. And again, it doesn't help that his batting average is like 200, to 220. But he is number one in many, many categories, which I think a lot of people are not aware of. And I feel that if people knew that he was as good as he is, with some of these statistical categories, things would be a little bit different. 24 RBIs in the seventh inning or later, that's number one in Major League Baseball. 14 caught stealing, number one in baseball. 7 shutouts caught, tied for most in baseball. And he's got 2 go-ahead grand slams, most in baseball. So, Cal Raleigh is a stud. Again, I think he's a top 5 catcher overall, but the MLB fans outside of Seattle have no idea who he is. They might have heard the name Big Dumper, but they don't know how good he really is. And hopefully at one point we can get Cal Raleigh into the All-Star game in a couple years. Once we start getting more love and pub, his batting average goes up and we start going to the playoffs every year. 3-2 pitch to Haniger. But that's pretty amazing, right? I'm always deep diving on the stats. And we know that Luis Ariz is amazing. We know Stephen Kwan is amazing. They can bat 300, 400. And it's nice to be able to see Jurickson Profar throw it far, right? Throw it far, hit it far to Profar, come back from the Rockies, back to the Padres. And you guys are having some success with him. And he was like your favorite player, right beside Yu Darvish. So pretty sweet. All right, Haniger with the walk there. Let's go. Next up, Tyler Locklear. First pitch, swing, chopped it towards third base, foul, 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. But I'm always going to be giving you more stats and more analytics than anyone else. And I highly, guess that no one knows those stats unless you're here. You know what I mean? And I feel if baseball voters knew that Cal was like the number one most valuable player on the Mariners, and Julio's having a struggling year, which I think a lot of them know, but they don't know that Cal actually has been stepping up, and he's our best clutch hitter late in games as well. So if they knew those stats, he definitely wouldn't be in 10th in voting in the American League, which is ridiculous. 0-2 pitch to Locklear, high and outside, 1-2 count. Nice. Sarah in the building, what's good? One-two pitch, Locklear, popped up. Should be a routine play. One away. Rocchio, the shortstop, with the catch. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Victor Robles. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 10. Let's see if we can get to a hundo. And let's see where we're at on the likes. Hopefully we can end up getting to 20 to 30 before the stream ends, since this is an early morning broadcast. We're at 10. We got 20 people in the room on the YouTube side, 20 on the Twitter/X. So if you are one of the 20 that are watching on YouTube, please smash that like button. We need 9 more of you that are in the room to do it, and we'll hit the first initial goal of 20. So we have enough people in the room now to get there. It's just a matter if you help your boy out. Top of the second, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at first, 1 out. 1-0 pitch to Victor Robles from Allen. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 count. Let's go, Victor. And you're not going to see anybody grind harder than me, especially not only for the Seattle Mariners, but just overall. Not everyone can call a baseball, basketball, football, hockey, pretty much anything that's out there. I feel that, we got one of the most versatile channels here. And again, we got to be able to put content out when we're not in the NFL college football season. Let's go, baby. Top of the second, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at first. 1 away. 2-1 pitch to Robles. Pitches inside and low towards the knees. 3-1 count. Let's go, baby. Use your eyes, Victor. Let's go, baby. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. 3-1 pitch. Robles crushes that. Towards the wall. Back to the warning track. 2 away. Brennan is there with the catch. Good defense by Will Brennan. 2 down. Next up, second baseman, Ryan Bliss. Let's go, Ryan. Filling in for Jorge Polanco. And we'll see when Polanco comes back if that'll be an additional bat that can help us out, as well as his defense. But I'm still hoping that we make a move or two with the bats and a move or two in the bullpen to give us a little bit more stability and a little bit more insurance. First pitch ripped by Ryan Bliss. Bliss into the gap. Wow, what a catch. Stephen Kwan. Nice grab there. All right, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. 2-1 Mariners. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's see who's up next here for Cleveland. Next up for the Guardians in the 5-hole, catching this morning, David Fry. Batting second in the 6-hole, right fielder, Will Brennan. And batting third baseman, Daniel Schneeman. Elliot, are you still doing fantasy baseball? Are you still having that league with your friends? How's that going? You're not in last place anymore, are you? Hopefully not. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. And again, by just the like button alone, I get it. Some people, are going to donate. Some aren't. Some are going to share the stream on Twitter/X and YouTube. Some aren't. But the least you can do if you don't want to chat in the stream, if you smash the like button, it really does help because, we can go from 300 to 600 views, and then with just an additional few extra people of smashing the like button and supporting, then it can go from 20 likes to 30 to 50 likes, and then when that happens, then we end up getting anywhere between 900 to 2,000 views instead of 300 to 600, and that's definitely helped with the likes, the subs, the views, and the donos. So it looks like we got 14 likes. We need 6 more to get to 20, and hopefully we can get that before the first hour. Shout out to everyone that has smashed the like button so far, and for a few of y'all that haven't done it yet, please do it. It really would help out. Let's go. Let's go, Castillo. David Fry in the box. And Luis Castillo on the mound. Let's go, Luis. Haniger getting some ground. There we go. No catch. One away. Come on, Luis. We need you today. Let's go, baby. Next up, Will Brennan. And Will Brennan is a sneaky good hitter. You know, there's going to be games where he struggles a little bit, but he's got the ability, to go 3 for 4 on your ass or 2 for 4. So you got to be very careful on how you pitch to Will Brennan. 244 average, 6 homers, 22 ribbies. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but there it is. I called it. Back, gone. See, sometimes you have the ESP before it happens, and there it is. If you don't pitch to him properly, he does that. And a solo dinger by Will Brennan. See, that's when sometimes I wish my ESP was wrong, where I know a hitter is about to do something special, and then I say it, and then 1 second later, 5 seconds later, 10 seconds later, it happens. 2-2, Guardians and Mariners. Nice job, Will. Next up, third baseman Daniel Schneemann. And again, I kind of had a feeling that he was going to do something like that today because a couple games ago, he went 3 for 4. And I can usually tell when a player is in a groove against a certain team. And it just kind of felt like if the pitch was there and Castillo didn't put enough on it, that he was going to go yard. And it's exactly what he did. Wow. Tough. Nice job by Will. And again, some people that say, 6 home runs, 22 ribbies, 244, that's nothing. But if you watch baseball enough, you can pick up the signs. And again, I have a little ESP sometimes where I can have a little feeling when something good is going to happen, regardless if it's for my team or not. Nice job by Will Brennan to tie the game up. Fun game this morning here early. Obviously a 10 a.m. start Pacific, but we're getting our money's worth this morning. Next up, Daniel Schneemann. 1 for 6 this series. 1-2 count from Castillo. Chopper right past Castillo. Throw to first from JP. There we go. 2 away. Okay. Educate me, man. Keep me up to that because, I don't know as much on the football side, on the soccer side as you. So keep me updated on everything that's going on with that. They got third best. How are you doing on your fantasy, bro? Are you still doing it? First pitch to Tyler Freeman, which was a ball but called strike. That was inside off the plate. 0-1 count. Chop that one foul towards first base. 0-2 count. And obviously having Mitch Garver being the backup catcher normally for George Kirby and now for Luis Castillo, it'll be a little bit of a learning curve to see how good they can play together. Great game, man. Are you kidding me? 2-2? You couldn't ask for a better start, both teams being competitive. And got him. There goes Tyler Freeman. Here we go. Next up, Logan Allen on the mound. Cool photos of him. We definitely won't hate on the Guardians or any opposing team. All right, so 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, no Ks for Logan Allen, which is a little surprising for a guy that's got a 7-3 record and a 5.30 ERA. And then obviously Luis Castillo getting a little roughed up in that inning, giving up a homer to Will Brennan. But again, I kind of had a feeling that he was going to do that. And then 5 seconds later, there it was. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, only 1 K, and we have a 2-2 game. So not really a pitching duel, but we're getting some good quality hits and base knocks this morning. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Next up for the Mariners, it's my guy, probably the guy that's got the coolest personality on the team. Someone that if I could be friends with anybody on the team besides Julio and Cal Raleigh, it would be this guy, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Very down to earth, very chill. And anytime you end up seeing interviews with him with the players and the fans, you can tell he's like one of the boys. Like, he'd be like one of those guys that you could have a beer with at the bar and just kind of, just chill and talk about pretty much much anything. I like JP a lot. And again, after getting tossed last night, getting a base knock right out of the gates, that was huge for JP Crawford. And hopefully he can continue that trend here at this second at bat. 1 for 1 and a run for JP Crawford. Next up, third baseman, Demo Dylan Moore. 1 for 1 with a run, 2 RBIs with a 2-run jack, with him and JP Crawford scoring. And batting third, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Julio. How many photos do you need to go yard? Let's get it, baby. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you're taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that a lot of us go through on the daily or have in the past. So if you're slipping a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Cut back on the partying, cut back on a lot of the things that are doing damage to yourself. And, listen to music, get out and get a walk. One out to JP Crawford, flight out there, and make sure that you're putting in some effort. And if you can do that, you can get back on track a lot sooner to win the day. Big facts. Getting away from those toxic people is a big thing too. I know my life changed getting away from a lot of those toxic people. And again, spending a lot of time with Paisley Pup and you guys has changed my life for the better. Next up for the Mariners after JP flied out, third baseman, Demo Dylan Moore. See if we can bring that electricity again at this second at bat. Let's go. Darren in the building. What's good? How are you? Yeah, we got Marlins and then we got Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously this Guardian series is the toughest in a little while. Obviously we swept the Rangers and that one felt good. But, the Guardians and the Mariners are 2 of the top 5 teams in the American League, with the Orioles, the Yankees, and the Royals. And out of those 5 teams, including these 2, someone's going to the World Series in the American League. Orioles, Yankees, right? Guardians, Mariners, Royals. One of those 5 is going to the World Series. So you are seeing some World Series contenders playing here today. Let's go. Lauren in the building. What's good? Amy in the building. What's good? Pitch right down the middle to Demo. 3-2 count. Let's go. Oh, there's nothing wrong with being addicted to video games. Like I said, again, it's all about, making time, to, instead of playing, like for 5 hours straight, to cut it back to like 2, it's totally fine, or spread it out a little bit, 2 hours early on and 2 hours late at night or something, you can still, have the video games, but again, to be able to cut back on some of the other things, because think about it. People are watching videos, people are watching movies and shows, people are watching live streams like this or playing video games, right? So maybe instead of, playing for 5 hours, maybe play for 2 and then like go for a walk or, hang out with a friend, spend some quality time, listen to music, step away from the video games unless you listen to music while you play video games. But sometimes just being able to listen to music and vibe for an hour can definitely help your mental health quite a bit as well. Julio, 1 for 1 in the single in the first, popped up. 2 away. Demo running back to first base. It's okay, Julio, we'll get you going. Next up, for the Mariners, catcher, the backup, Mitch Garver. But I know with me, getting away from a lot of the toxic people, and being able to go through addiction and depression and anxiety, and obviously getting my pup 2.5 years ago, I, walk her about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I was at 270 pounds, a little over a year ago, and now I'm down to 188. So going from COVID time to now, if you're willing to not give up on yourself and your body and your mind, and if you're not happy with what you look like or where you're at mentally, if you put in the work, and once you start doing a daily routine after 3 weeks, after 21 days, it becomes a habit, and then it becomes easy. Throw to second, Demo, safe. Nice stolen bag by Demo. But again, you can, have certain addictions like video games, but you just got to be able to spread it out. And instead of playing for 4 or 5 hours, play for 2, and then maybe go for a walk for 30 minutes, or listen to music for another 30 minutes, do something else, catch up with a friend, go grab a bite to eat at go get a hamburger or like some pizza or tacos, just being able to do something positive in your life can really make a drastic change, and make effort for the people that deserve it, not people that don't care about you. That's another thing too. Wasting energy on people that don't deserve it is very draining, and make sure you have 50-50 relationships in life, making sure that you're not all in and then the other person never checks up on you. Big facts. Top of the third, 2-2 Mariners and Guardians. Runner at second, 2 outs. 0-2 pitch to Mitch Garver. Pitches high and outside. 1-2 count. Let's go. Yeah, it's hard to, not go back into old habits, with drinking and partying and, other things like that. Got him! Nice punch out by Logan Allen. But again, it's all about having discipline, and it's probably the hardest thing in life to be able to hold yourself accountable and look in the mirror. Everyone can make excuses, this or that, or blame other people. But at the end of the day, if you want your life to be better, it's up to you, and you got to be able to make that, change in your life. And once you do, I'll tell you what, I used to drink like every day, and I would even drink on stream where I'd have like Modelo Chelada Tall Boys, or I would drink like a 6-pack a day. And I was eating unhealthy pizza, burgers, tacos. I mean, you name it, I was doing it. But again, at the end of the day, you feel like shit, and a lot of times you'll look like shit. You'll gain weight and you don't feel good about yourself, but if you can make those minor adjustments to kind of, still do those things, but maybe not as much. For me, I drastically changed everything. No fast food, no soda. I'm eating healthy. I'm walking and exercising about 1.5 hours to 2 hours a day. So I'm at that like most extreme, kind of nature of it all, of the beast. But again, I have a pup, an American Staffy, that's kind of like a pity. So I can't be lazy with this dog. This dog needs to get about 1.5 hours to 2 hours a day. And if you don't, they're not going to be happy. So not only am I helping the mental health of my pup, it's actually helping my mental health as well. So, and not everyone's going to have an American Staffy or a pity to kind of force them to be able to get outside. But again, sometimes being able to have that love, that is going to be unconditional from a pup, and being able to spend time outside together, it's the best bonding that you're ever going to have, even with humans. Facts. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning. 2-2 Mariners and Guardians. Let's go. And sometimes, you can get to a point where people drink, and then you get to a point where you burn out. And then, sometimes taking a step back and, being sober, or maybe not being, into that party scene as much, instead of drinking every day, maybe like once a week or twice a week, like cutting back a little bit, it really does help. Big facts. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning for the Cleveland Guardians. But I used to be a very, very heavy partier, like heavy. I know a lot of people, so they're, being able to link up with different party people was never a problem for me. So next up, shortstop Brian Rocchio. But sometimes those people, they're just acquaintances. They're not your friends. They're just, beer buddies or smoke buddies. But, if you end up needing something, and you're in an emergency, those people aren't going to fucking help you. They're just party people. They're not really friends sometimes. So 1-0 pitch, chop towards first. Run it out. There we go. Lock clear. 1 away. That's good to hear, man. You can find other things, though. Again, you don't have to follow the crowd, and again, it's one of those things, as you get older, you'll figure it out. And obviously, if you're in your 20s, it's tough because everyone's drinking and partying and smoking and doing a lot of the party things, So again, it just all depends on the crowd that you hang around, and you are who you are based on who you hang around. Big fact. So, if you put yourself in a better position to succeed, sometimes you got to cut out some of those friends. It's a hard decision, but sometimes it's better for your own mental health until you can get it under control. Bottom of the third, 2-2 Mariners and Guardians. Stephen Kwan, he's only batting 400. Is that good? My goodness. Beast mode. 400 average, 5 homers, and 20 ribbies, and hit a home run last night that was pretty much putting the dagger into us early in the game. And then right after that, we had Josh Naylor go yard twice on us, and we lost 8-0. So 350-plus batting average for the Guardians since 1950 when they were the Indians. Albert Bell, 1994, 357. Manny Ramirez in 2000, 351. Stephen Kwan, 400 in 2024. Unbelievable. Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Stephen Kwan. Let's go. I think also, too, what helps, with drinking and partying is if you have goal. and you have dreams. And if you have bigger goals and dreams, like with me with this channel and spending time with my pup, yeah, is there a lot of beer pong parties and a lot of parties and shit that I can go to? Yeah, but again, it's like, what do I care about? Those parties, big swing and a miss, got them, or being able to, make a legacy for myself, and obviously, putting in that time and energy and effort. And here in Oregon, I don't know anyone else that's doing what I'm doing. Again, I worked very, very hard to get to the point to have the #1 sports channel in Oregon. But even with that being said, I still got a long ways to go. I feel that this channel can go from 20,000 to 25 to 30,000 subs to 50, and one day 100 if we can actually get the proper support. I don't feel that a lot of the other sports channels are better than us here. They're just more popular. And then eventually when people start figuring out that I can do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, UFC, boxing, pretty much anything, and talk about life and mental health and actually be real and genuine, at some point, we're going to blow up. And again, my #1 goal is to leave a legacy behind and also to help people out, in any way that I can, and again, you can definitely tell there's a lot of fakes that are on YouTube and Twitch. But again, every once in a while, you'll come across someone that is real and genuine, and you can feel it with their aura and vibe. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Robles is there. There we go. End of the third inning. Mariners 2, Guardians 2. Let's go, baby. It's always good to be able to have, like 5 close friends or 3 to 5 close friends, than to have 50 to 100 acquaintances. Again, a lot of times when you have a lot of those acquaintances, that's how you get in trouble, trying to fit in with the crowd. And then they pull you into positions to get you in trouble, to spend more money or to do things that you don't really want to do. And then you wake up the next morning with a hangover and your bank account fucking at 0 and said, well, how did I spend $300 last night? And then you're fucked for rent, you're fucked for bills, so you got to really be able to make the right decisions. And it's tough when you're young. But again, you are who you hang around. Remember that. All right, baby, let's go to the top of the 4th inning. Let's see who's up for the Mariners. DHing for Seattle, 0 for 1, Ty France. Batting second in the order, right fielder, 0 for 0 with a base on ball, Mitch Haniga. And batting third, first baseman, 0 for 1, Tyler Locklear. Let's go, baby. And I get that. Man. It is tough. To act like it's not tough when you're younger, but it can also be tough when you get older too. But again, I feel that if you have goals and dreams and you can focus on some of those things, that'll be a good distraction, a positive distraction, than just, falling into, oh, I don't got any goals or dreams or direction in my life, and I'm just going to party every day and drink myself into, into this, state of mind where after you're done, the way that you feel mentally and physically is not the greatest. So yeah, he's crazy, man. I hope so. I'm not sure if it's going to happen today or if it'll happen in the Miami Marlins series, but we'll have to see. My gut tells me, at least right now, no, but maybe the next series, but hopefully we get lucky and he ends up hitting one late, but I'm not sure. I don't really feel a Julio in my ESP and my Juju today, like I ended up calling for your team with Will Brennan there, so. Ty France, hit by pitch, #1 hit by pitch player in Major League Baseball, Ty France. Hit him with that cutter. Next up, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. And almost got hit on the foot that got fractured. Got to stay away from that foot. Yeah, and plus you got to think, I live in Oregon, so, dispensaries, right, for smoke, right, breweries, wineries, strip clubs, there's a lot of things here that we're very laid back here, but there's a lot of things here that if you're not responsible, that can get you in trouble. That's the big reason why a lot of professional athletes, don't come here, because I feel that, we might not have the, nightlife, with the big clubs like in LA and New York, or Miami, but again, there's other things here that could kind of pull you away and get you in a little bit of trouble if you're not responsible enough. So They're looking at the review to see if it actually hit him. Yeah, they hit him on the arm. They hit him at the foot. They hit him everywhere. That one skipped into the catcher's mitt. And I think they're doing a review to see if he actually got hit there. But I've been grinding on this channel for 12 years. You know, it's my 8th year on YouTube. A lot of people, my quote-unquote friends, didn't think I would be able to do it or make it, you know, but again, a lot of those people don't have, you know, quote-unquote dreams or goals, and they may not be my friends anymore. So, and sometimes, you know, you can't let the guilt trip get to you, you know, when they say, you know, why can't you hang out, this and that, you know, but again, you know, this channel and Paisley Pup are going to be my first priority, and that's how it's going to be moving forward. So we're getting closer and closer to 4 million views on the channel. So once we hit that number, we will be doing a giveaway on the channel as well. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. True New York Trident with the like and the share. Shout out to my girl Veronica as well. Appreciate you guys very much. Call stands, hit by pitch. All right, we got 28 people watching on YouTube, 32 watching on the Twitter/X. Where are we at on likes? We're at 20 likes. They have 8 people that are in the room that haven't smashed the like button just yet. Please do. Let's try to get to 30 before the stream ends. We got 28 on the YouTube side, 22 on the Twitter/X. We got 50 in the room. Norbcam, yeah, in Seattle. He's got one of the biggest channels in Washington, and obviously I'm holding it down here in Oregon. So, you know, but the difference between Norbcam and me is that he normally just does Seahawks, and once in a while we'll do like Mariners when they make the playoffs and whatnot, you know, but for me, it's like I do every day, you know, with the Mariners. I do all the Oregon Ducks. I do NFL, all the teams. I do college football, you know, all the big matchups, and then I do wrestling. So I do hockey with the Kraken. So, you know, for me, he's pretty much a Seattle Seahawks streamer. For me, I do everything, you know, so there's a little bit of a difference, you know, based on, you know, the grind. Some people only focus on like one main thing, which is completely fine. But to be able to show versatility that you can do many things instead of just football, you know, I think that shows like, you know, who I am, you know, obviously as a streamer. You know, I feel I'm the most versatile streamer on YouTube, you know, based on sports and wrestling. Because you got to do a lot of reading, a lot of film study. Because of course, if you're an idiot, you know, people will know if you don't know what you're talking about. You'll get called out very quickly. And again, I feel I read and I do more film study than any other live streamer, and I think it shows. You know, because I don't think anyone's going to beat me statistically or analytically. Because if I'm putting in 3-4 hours of reading, 1 or 2 hours of film every day, and I'm doing this, you know, like who actually has work ethic like that? Not many on planet Earth. 0-1 pitch to Tyler Locklear. I mean, there's reasons why, like people like Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football and Pat McAfee and a lot of these shows watch me, you know, and steal my content and steal my catchphrases and my nicknames, you know, because a lot of these people, they're not original. You know, they have to watch people on YouTube and Twitch, find something that sounds catchy and cool, and then add it to their arsenal and steal it and act like they made it up. So, which is kind of sad, but it's the biggest form of flattery, you know, when you know that big time famous people are watching, even though I'm not famous yet, you know, and they're stealing my content already. So top of the fourth, 2-2 Mariners and Guardians, runner at first, 2 away. Next up, Victor Robles, 0 for 1 with a fly out in the second. But shout out to Norbcam, you know, grinding away. You know, anyone that has a dream and a goal to be able to grind like that, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of passion, you know, to be able to get there. A lot of mental health. You know, you got to be very strong mentally. Shout out to Norbcam, representing the Pacific Northwest like yourself and myself. 1-1 count to Robles. Nice. Who's winning in that matchup? Spain or Italy? Big swing and a miss. Well, obviously, me being a Tampa fan, you know, Aaron Donald and Warren Sapp are the 2 best, you know, nose tackle, D tackles that we've seen in the last 20 years, 25 years. And, yeah, I mean, again, you know, you got guys like Reggie White, you know, that are going to be up there. You know, Bruce Smith, right? Obviously for the Buffalo Bills, Aaron Donald, you know, nose tackle, Warren Sapp. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest to ever play, regardless if it's, you know, D end or D tackle or defense in general. Aaron Donald was, you know, I already knew Aaron Donald was going to be a freak of nature when I saw the highlight clip when he was on Pitt, when he tackled the quarterback and the running back with one arm each. who does that? I've never seen that before. So for him to be as amazing as he was didn't surprise me. So Aaron Donald will definitely go down first ballot Hall of Fame as one of the greatest to ever put on cleats. Pitches outside, and he walked him. There we go. Damn, 16 years old? No way. Victor Robles to first. We got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Top of the fourth, 2-2 Mariners and Guardians. Let's go, baby. Second baseman, 0 for 1 with a line out in the second, Ryan Bliss. Bliss, down the line, just foul. Oh, it's fair. Yes, go, go, go. Wall ball double by Ryan Bliss, baby. 3-2 Mariners. Fuck yeah. I thought that was definitely going to be a foul based on the camera angle, but it just knocked off the wall fair. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, baby. Next up for the Mariners, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. Pistol fingers at. Let's go. Pitch on the zone for the strike. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. 3-2 Mariners. Let's go. Oreo in the building. What's good, baby? Hell yeah, that was big for Bliss, And again, having Locklear and Bliss, fill in for France and Polanco. Again, Polanco hopefully will be good offensive and defensively, but we still need to add a bat or two and a bullpen guy, hopefully at some point or another. Plus, a lot of streamers are extremely biased, Little squib. Throw to first. Got him. Well, the damage was done by Ryan Bliss with that wall ball. Obviously, RBI. 3-2 Mariners. Let's go. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. But I feel like with a lot of people that do the NFL, and the college football, they're extremely biased, especially if they do just their team. So it's like if you're a Seahawk streamer, you're going to be talking shit about the Niners and the Rams and the Cardinals and the rest of the NFC and the AFC, and you're not really giving, greatness a chance. So for me, I like to appreciate greatness. It doesn't really matter the team name on the front. It's about the name on the back. And I think that's also what separates me from a lot of the other streamers out there. I'm not going to hate, just because if I'm a Tampa fan, I'm not going to shit on the Panthers or the Falcons or the Saints. And it's really funny too, because one of the biggest fan bases that supports me is one of the ones that's the most obnoxious and the one that's the most hated, and the New Orleans Saints, because with the Saints fans, they're really hard on their own players and, obviously teams and fans, right? And they're hard against others, right? And say they talk a lot of shit and they back it up. But a lot of times, they hate the Bucks. They hate the Panthers. They hate the Falcons. But again, the Saints fan base embraced me because obviously I call a spade a spade. And if I like a guy, I like a guy. If Drew Brees is great, AK-41 Alvin Kamara, AK-41 is great. And, you got guys like DeMario Davis, the glue, and Lattimore. Again, you can be rivals, but you can still respect the great players on the opposite side. And that makes me more proud to be able to have a rival fan base being one of my number one supporters. It's like, imagine if I was an Eagle streamer and the biggest fan base of me was the Cowboys. It would be insane. You never would see that. But as being obviously not just a Bucs streamer, an NFL streamer, but to be able to have the Saints fan base behind me, that's a big thing. You don't see that unless you're real or genuine and they like you. So big facts. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-2 Mariners. Orioles series July 2nd through July 4th, and I'll be there on July 4th. Can't wait. Hopefully I can get an Adley Rutschman ball, a Gunnar Henderson ball, a Cal Raleigh ball, a Julio Rodriguez ball, and my buddy that I'm going with has never gotten a ball, and he's gone to over 100 Mariner and Dodger games. I've been to 7 games, and I've gotten 3. So, of course, I'm going to be a honey badger. Jose Ramirez fouls that one off. 0-2 count in the upper deck. But hopefully I can end up getting 2 baseballs, so one that I can keep and one I can give to my boy Justin. 0-2 pitch. Ramirez crushes that one down first base, 0-2 count. And I've gotten a baseball with a different person each time. First time with my dad, second time with Justin, my best friend, and third time with Preston. So it's like almost the sports gods wanted me to have a special moment with a different person each time to have that experience. Castillo throwing into Garb, into the dirt, wild pitch. Gets away from him to the backstop, 1-2 count. But I already got a Julio ball, an Aaron Judge ball, and a Kike Hernandez ball from the Dodgers. So obviously a Cal Raleigh ball is next on my list. Or obviously Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rushman if it comes my way. Let's go, baby. 2-2 pitch. Chop foul. Ramirez plugging away. 0 for 1. Bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Mariners with that RBI wall ball from Ryan Bliss. And again, the magic number might be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And at the beginning of the broadcast, I predicted maybe a 5-4 game, or at least that's what I was hoping for. And we're on our way to possibly hit that number, 3-2 Mariners. Chopper towards first, foul. And Ramirez is really grinding away at this at-bat. 8th pitch on the at-bat already on a 2-2 count. This guy's a stud, all-star, switch hitter. Great third baseman. He can DH. He can do it all. His K rate is only 11.3. MLB average is 22.2. 2-2 pitch. 9th pitch. Fouled off. Wow. Really? Youngest player in tourney history? Wow, that's crazy. 16, 17 years old. That's incredible. 2-2 count. Pitches inside, 3-2 count. So Darren, with the video games that you like to play, be honest, how many hours a day do you play? Do you play like on PS4, PS5, Xbox? Do you play on Nintendo Switch? I mean, what are you playing on? How many hours do you play? I mean, shit, I'm half Asian, so obviously I'm very familiar with video games. I used to play like fucking 8-9 hours a day, bro. 3-2 pitch. Pitch is fouled up. There we go. Popped up, 1 away. Next up for the Guardians, first baseman, Josh Naylor. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And let's see what we got going on here. Shout out to... let's see wait for this to load up here. Shout out to True North, Trident, Lauren, Elliot, and Matt on the Twitter/X side. Appreciate you guys. And let's go here, see where we're at. I gave Matt the day off today since he's in Hawaii. It's a 3-hour difference. We're at 21 likes. We need 9 more to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Pitch is outside. 1-1 count to Josh Naylor. One pitch. Chop foul. 1-2 count. Yeah. I mean, I can't afford a new video game system, but at some point, obviously with the college football game coming back and, GTA coming back, yeah, that would be definitely a big motivator for me to be able to, get a next-gen system and get that for sure. Pitch is low and outside, 2-2 count, but I'm on the same boat with you, bro. I don't really play a whole lot anymore. I honestly play PS2, as a throwback system, like some old school like Nintendo or PS2. Usually is what I end up playing is like a throwback. Big swing and a miss. Got Naylor. Luis Castillo with the punch out. Nice job, Luis. Mariner Moose likes that. Third K for Luis Castillo. Logan Allen only has 2, so hasn't really been a pitching duel, so to speak, but again, we'll take it. Strike 1 to Fry. 0 for 1 at his first at-bat, batting 5th in the order. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have to sell some of my memorabilia or whatnot, to be able to get some extra money to be able to do that. But yeah, I definitely will have to be grinding away, and I hope to be able to, get one just like you. Pitch is low and into the dirt on Fry, 1-2 count. Fry batting .307 with 8 homers and 30 ribbies in 2024. And obviously doing the solo missions would be great. And then once they get all the bugs figured out, the online mode would be cool too. but I always like kind of doing the missions, you know, and you can either just like go crazy on a rampage, right, and run over people, and, you know, on GTA, on Grand Theft Autos, you know, when that comes out, you know, or sometimes you get disciplined and want to do the missions. Kind of just depends on, you know, what your mindset is like at that particular time. 2-2 count. Fry over JP Crawford's head into center field of Julio. Nice single there for David Fry. 2-out single for Fry. Next up, right fielder Will Brennan. Had a home run right after I said that I thought that, you know, he was a good hitter, even though his numbers don't indicate that, you know, he was going to do anything magical today. And then 5 seconds later, what happened? He had a home run. So sometimes my ESP, like, I get these, like, you know, messages or something, like I think of something and I say it out loud and then it happens. But again, if you watch my broadcast, you know, time in and time out, especially on the college football and NFL side, I usually will have about 2 or 3 of those Tony Romo, you know, kind of moments where I can kind of predict it before it happens. And another big prediction that I'm going to tell you right now, based on watching him, Tom Brady is going to be the best color. You know, he's going to blow Tony Romo out of the water. He's going to be the best announcer that doesn't do play-by-play in sports. Once he ends up, you know, getting into the games, and you're going to be able to see the way that he talks, the way he breaks down plays. You know, everyone loves Tony Romo for the most part, and he'll be the, you know, Romo on CBS. Tom Brady is going to be the best color, you know, play-by-play, you know, side-by-side sidekick in sports, better than anybody else. And again, it's going to be really surprising for a lot of fans, and I think they're going to enjoy him in the booth. And again, being an NFC fan, you know, having to deal with Joe Buck and fucking Troy Aikman all the time, it's going to be nice to have Brennan and obviously Tom Brady in the booth, because I think it's going to be a little bit more entertaining than people think. So you heard it here first. Once he ends up calling, you know, some of the games, it's going to be a real eye-opener that how well-spoken he is, how funny he is, and how much he knows the game. Big facts. 0-2 count. Brennan. Off the wall. Damn. Ground rule double. Fry to third. You like story mode? Me too. Brennan, home run and a stand-up double, baby. Next up, third baseman Daniel Schneemann. Come on, baby. Bottom of the fourth, 3-2 Mariners. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch to Schneemann. Pitches outside. 2-1 count. Two-one pitch. Pitches outside. 3-1 count. Three-one pitch. Got him. 3-2 count. Nice strike there. There we go. Hell yeah. End of the fourth inning, 3-2 Mariners. Let's go to the top of the fifth with a 1-run lead for Seattle. Let's see who's up next. Here we go. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-1 with a run, 2 RBIs, nice 2-run homer and a base on ball. Third baseman, it's Demo, Dylan Moore. Bring that electricity to the box, baby. Let's go, Demo. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, 1 for 2. Let's keep that flow going. Let's go, Julio. Let's get it, baby. And batting third, 0 for 2 with the K, catcher, Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. Terrible in May and terrible in April, but fantastic in June. Keep up the momentum, Mitch Garver. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's see where we're at right now. Hopefully we're getting a little bit closer to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We got 26 people watching on the YouTube side, and we got 20 plus on the Twitter/X. We're at 20, where are we at? 22? 20? All right, we need, where are we at? We need 10 more to be able to get to 30. Let's go, baby. STL in the building. What's good, brother? Smash that like button for your boy. All right, we got 27 people in the room there. We got 20 likes. We need 10 more to hit the goal. We got 22 now. We need 8 more to hit 30, to hit the goal. 8 more before the game ends, and we're about halfway through the game right now. I think we can definitely do that. We got 50 people watching. Blue Jay in the building. What's good? Yeah, Guardians are the real deal, man. Popped up, routine play, 1 away. Wide out to center for Demo. Next up, 1 for 2 center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. Come on, Julio. First pitch to Julio, low in the zone, but called strike, 0-1 count. Pitch is high from Allen, 1-1 count. Let's take a quick look at the pitchers. 4.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks for Allen. Julio, right back up. Run, run, run. Got him, barely. Good athleticism by Allen by not spraining his ankle there. That ankle could have rolled there on that first base. Always kind of a crazy play when you have to run to first base to be able to get a runner going full speed to first. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, backup catcher Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. Hope you're having a good day, Blue Jay. Is it bad, Elliot? What's so bad about it? The announcers, the camera? Like, what's so bad about it? Zay in the building. What's good, brother? Chopper to third. Throw to first. Got him. 3 up and 3 down. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-2 Mariners. How's it going, Zay? Hope you're having a great day, brother. And obviously, I don't do too many of these streams early in the morning, but when you have a first-place Mariners and a first-place Guardians, and even though we lost and got our ass kicked 8-0 yesterday, I'm here. I'm always grinding. And again, I have a goal of doing about 140, 142 out of the 162 regular season games. So that's a lot of work, more than any other, Mariner content creator by a lot. So I got to be able to put in that work and that effort. And the only times that I'm going to miss, games where I'll watch it, but I'm just not going to stream it when it's early in the morning, and I'll just watch it with Paisley. So, all right, let's see who's up next here for the Guardians in the bottom of the 5th. Next up for Cleveland, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Tyler Freeman. Batting second, 0 for 1, shortstop Brian Rocchio. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and a K. Batting 398, gets one more hit. You know, between the next two at-bats, he'll be above 400 again. 398 batting average. Steven Kwan. Hit the Kwan, baby. He's good. Oh, that's terrible. And that's the worst, bro. It's like when you're watching sports and you have someone, you know, that you're watching and, you know, doing play-by-play or color, and they have bad tonality, a bad voice, a bad aura, or they're fucking stupid. You know, it ruins it. And that's why I feel sports talk and announcers on TV and podcasts are at the worst they ever been. And everyone and their mama thinks that they can do a podcast because everyone else does it, former players and just randos online. And, you know, it really does separate the people that are elite and the people that aren't. And, you know, again, I think that's why people, you know, like to be able to watch, you know, streams like this, because again, you're going to get a good broadcast here. And a lot of times on podcasts and TV, a lot of those guys are garbage. You know, they're not good. And they're not relating to the younger generation and what people need now. We don't need to have a bunch of this argument. Like, the arguing in sports talk is gone already. Like, they might have been able to handle that in the past, you know, with like Skip and Shannon and whatnot, but that era has ended. But a lot of these networks are fucking stupid, and they haven't realized that they need to take the next step to be able to engage the audience in a different type of way of being real and honest and actually having, you know, not fake takes, just calling it how it really is instead of being biased and arguing over shit that doesn't even matter or shit that you don't even believe in, you know? And I feel that that's why sports talk on TV and podcasts and overall announcers, there's not very many good ones that are on TV or on podcasts anymore. A lot of them are ass. They're not good. You can get better content out of YouTube than a lot of these guys on podcasts and TV, and that's the real fucking truth. Freeman, Robles is there. There we go, one away. Damn, that sucks, dude. Bottom of the fifth with one out. Next up, Brian Rocchio. Let's get to 30 likes before the stream ends, baby. And we're at 10, 90 to go to hit the goal. Pitches inside, 1-0 count. Over JP Crawford's head. Nice base hit by Rocchio. And that's about knowing who you're working with, you know, and actually like reading the room. Like when you go into a party and you can already tell like how the vibe is in the room. And then you always have that one person that doesn't understand, you know, like personal space or reading the room, you know, and that's how it is obviously with a lot of these, you know, broadcasts. They have the wrong pairing of people and the chemistry. That's why when the NFL comes out this fall and when you see Tom Brady in the booth, people are going to be blown away. It's going to take one game and he's going to blow up and he's going to be known as, you know, better than Tony Romo. He's going to be the Tony Romo of the NFC and he's going to be better than Tony Romo. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, even if you had a lot of hate for him on the Patriots or the Bucks, you're going to notice like how well-spoken and how intelligent and how, kind of aura that he brings to the broadcast. He's going to be the best in sports. And I can't wait to be able to see what he brings. Boom! Got him at second base. Caught stealing. Rocchio. Bang! There we go. Nice throw out by Mitch Garver. Miles in the building. What's good? STL in the building. What's good? And again, they're never, and that was the only good thing the NBA had. That show, the actual NBA games, terrible. The playoffs, terrible. The finals, terrible. This shit is unwatchable. The NBA is literally worse than the NHL, the MLB, college football, NFL, and even wrestling. That's how bad it is. It's unwatchable. It's not good, you know? Inside the NBA was the only thing they had that was good, and now they don't have that. So if they have their ratings plummet even more, you're going to know why. Next up, Stephen Kwan. His ratings will never plummet. He's the man. Hit the Kwan, baby. 1 for 2 for Stephen Kwan. 1 for 2 with a run in a K. Hit a nice 2-run homer yesterday. Love me some Stephen Kwan. Sad. That's the only good thing NBA had, man, and now it's going to be gone. Kenny the Jet Smith, Ernie, Shaq, Chuck. Great chemistry. Just like Good Morning Football when, Nate and Kay left. Not the same. It's decent, but not the same. Pat McAfee show before they went to ESPN. Great. When they went to ESPN, not the same. Everything is changing for the worst. Bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Mariners. Runner at first with 2 outs. Next up, Andres Jimenez. But I guess that's good that everything else sucks, on podcasts and TV, so people on YouTube can grow better, and find, a better connection with fans. Because, who in their goddamn minds wakes up early in the morning and watches all that garbage sports talk, on these garbage takes that they don't even believe in? I don't need to hear about the Dallas Cowboys winning the fucking Super Bowl every year when they don't even believe it, and then they argue about it for 30 minutes and it doesn't make any sense. We already know it's not going to happen. Stupid. Waste of time. Jimenez. Back, gone! 2-run blast by Andres Jimenez, 4-3 Guardians. Wow, there we go. I was hoping for a 5-4 game, and here we go. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3 Cleveland. Nice job. Next up, DH for the Guardians, Jose Ramirez. Jimenez bringing that electricity to the box. Nice job, Andres Jimenez. Oh my God, terrible, bro. I feel sorry for you, man. Watching that, you have to put that shit on mute. Because, some of the best parts of watching a game is the announcers, and having that vibe. It's either going to make the broadcast or make you put it on mute or not want to watch it at all. That's really how it goes. And the announcers are just as important as the players that are playing the game. Pitch in the zone for a strike, 1-1 count. Jose Ramirez 0 for 2 with a fly out and a pop out. Nice job, Jimenez. They did that one for you, Zay. Pitch is low and inside, 2-1 count. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3 Guardians. Andres Jimenez with a 2-run blast about a minute ago. Ramirez pops that one foul, 2-2 count. But I love doing NFL games, no matter who's playing. I love doing college football games, no matter who's playing. I love doing MLB games. Doesn't really matter who's playing, but I prefer to do Mariners or Dodgers for my dad, since he's been a fan since the 50s. But I can do pretty much any team. I like the NHL, but not as much as the MLB or football. Wrestling, love it. WWE streams are the greatest, once a month for the pay-per-views. And then once Netflix gets Monday Night Raw and gets the rights, we might end up doing some Monday Night Raw streams if we can all watch it together at the same time. I love NASCAR. I used to do streams for that, but the viewership wasn't enough for me to continue doing it, but I hope to get back to doing NASCAR streams one day. Love doing it. I watch, NASCAR Cup Series every Sunday to kind of fill in that gap that the NFL leaves on Sundays once the season ends. But the NBA, man, unwatchable, bro. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3 Cleveland. Runner at first with 2 outs. Next up, Josh Naylor. Had 2 blasts yesterday for home runs. Hopefully he doesn't hit one here. Luis Castillo, 4.2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Logan Allen, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. So only 5 Ks total. But again, it's been definitely a hitter's game, which is nice. And I'm glad that we're not losing 4-0 today. Yeah, see, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so 80s and 90s NBA is great. But now it's boring. It's not exciting anymore. Pitches outside, throw to second, got him. Oh, he dropped it. Fuck. Nice stolen bag by Jose Ramirez. He's got a little bit faster speed than people think. '80s and '90s NBA was better than 2000 to 2009 NBA, but I would agree after the '80s and '90s NBA, 2000 to 2009 would be next on the list, and then after that, it's been garbage. It hasn't really been good in the last 15 years, but especially within the last 5 years, there's been a real slide. Big hit by Naylor, back to the wall. That'll bring in Jose Ramirez. 5-3 Guardians. Nice sliding double for Naylor. Uh-oh, he's injured. Uh-oh. Naylor is hurt after sliding into second. Hopefully he's okay. He's grabbing his knee. Uh-oh. Hopefully, I hope he didn't tear his ACL or something. Or Achilles. Shit. One of the most important players in the lineup. He's going to have to go out, I think. Uh-oh. That was an amazing hit that brought in that RBI, and then Ramirez went from second to home to make it 5-3. But as he was sliding into second, something didn't look right, and he was on the ground, not as bad as Mookie Betts on the ground for 5 minutes when he broke his hand, but now the trainers are out. They got 3 trainers out, the ump and the players. I hope it's just like a tweak or something like that, but hopefully it's not like an Achilles or ACL, MCL. But they're actually looking at his knee right now. They're holding the knee. The trainer is right now, and they're zooming in on the coverage. So hopefully it's not a tear or a partial tear, but they are kind of gripping the knee in multiple areas and asking him, "Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Bend it this way. Can you bend it this way?" And he's kind of grimacing in pain. Uh-oh. Prayers up for him. We're not haters here where we wish injuries on the other team or players. Injuries are the fucking worst, and I hope he's okay, but it's not looking too good right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people around him. I 100% agree with that. The lack of defense, obviously, load management, people being lazy, being soft, I feel that there's a number of categories that go into it. It's kind of an awkward diving attempt there for Naylor as he was diving into second. His knee buckled a little bit, but wow, Naylor is staying in the game. Oh my God, really? All right, well, obviously it's not an ACL tear or an MCL or a PCL because he'd be obviously getting an MRI, and somehow, some way, it might have been just a tweak, but he's out at second base, so looks like he's okay, Zay. At least we'll find out after the game is over, but he's trying to walk it off. And normally if you sprain an ankle, you can kind of walk it off, but this was the knee, so he might be a tough son of a bitch, it looks like. Pitches inside. 2-0 count to David Fry. 311 average, 8 homers, and 30 ribbies in 2024. Come on, Castillo. We need 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits if we want to hang. Well, he's still in the game, so he'll get at least another at-bat before the game is over, possibly 2. So, Naylor ended up hitting 2 yesterday. So if he's going to stay out, you'll still have a chance with your bet. Unless this is the last time that we see him in the game. I don't know. Big swing and a miss by Fry. 2-2 count from Castillo. But it's pretty sad when NASCAR, baseball, and hockey are better than the NBA. Hardcore NBA fans, have a hard time watching. An occasional NBA fan won't watch because it's just not worth it. It's, I honestly think that this playoffs this year was one of the worst I've ever seen, in the entirety of the NBA. You had the whole Laker championship with the COVID with no fans. That was one thing, but I feel like this year was probably the worst year in the NBA history that I've ever seen. So
the competitiveness of the games and the lack of effort. Like Luka is a top 5 player, but he plays defense like, he's in junior high. He doesn't play. He only cares about scoring. And again, if you're not going to put in the effort on defense, you're not going to win a championship. And that's exactly what happened. So, I feel like Luka is one of the top 5 popular players in jersey sales. He got exposed as being kind of a bitch. Okay, you care about dribbling and scoring, but if you're going to bitch the refs every single time and not get back on defense, you're hurting your team and you're never going to win anything. You're a very selfish player. He's a guy that prior to the finals, very likable. Like Luka, like this guy's dope, right? And then now he got exposed, and now the view on him is completely different, where he's kind of a bitch. Like all you do is just complain and whine, and you lost a lot of your fans based on your effort. You care about you don't care about the Dallas Mavericks. And, again, when you get players like that are selfish, and the game is already at its worst peak as it is, now the viewership even goes down lower because the players are selfish and they care about endorsements, shoe deals, Instagram, themselves instead of the team. This is not the same type of NBA that I grew up in the 80s and 90s watching. So, there's a reason why, I would rather do a regular season baseball game than doing any of the games in the NBA Finals. Now, if it was back in the day, I would have done every playoff game and I would have done all of the NBA Finals. But there's a reason why I stayed away, because it wasn't worth my time. So, and I don't know if it was worth your time as well, unless, you were a Dallas Maverick fan or a Boston Celtic fan. So, but I'm glad the NBA is over. That shit was trash. No, I don't think the Mariners are cooked. We still got time. It's 5-3. There's still plenty of time. We got to wait for the starting pitching to go out. But again, it's a first-place team versus a first-place team, so I don't think it's completely 100% Guardians are going to win. I mean, normally we're not very good, in the mornings, but we're playing better today in the morning than we have in a long time. So I think that the bats are still somewhat there, so we'll see how it goes. But you never know. Ty France with the walk. Here we go, baby. Next up, Mitch Haniga. Let's go. Let's go, Mitch. Back here. Top of the sixth, 5-3 Guardians. Runner at first, Ty France. Viewed up here. Let's go, baby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs. Come on, Hanny. One sec. I had to reformat my stream here. There we go. Chopper, double play attempt. Oh, he dropped it. Throw to first. Safe. Should have been a double play there. Next up, Tyler Locklear, top of the 6th with a runner at first. 5-3 Guardians. Yes, they did, Jacob. Top of the 6th, 5-3 Cleveland, runner at first. One away. Come on, Locklear. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And if you got a Twitter/X account, help your boy out as well. I mean, we lost yesterday 8-0. So, again, you know, as long as we don't double play attempt, got him. Good double play by the Guardians. But, I mean, considering that we got 3 runs at this point on the road, yeah, we're down by 2. But, again, it's not like it's 5-0 or 5-1. So, you know, anytime the Mariners end up having 3 or more at this point in the game, we're going to have a chance. And again, we are one of the best teams in the 8th and the 9th inning in Major League Baseball. We're one of the top 2 teams. So we have the ability to put up 4 runs in the 8th and 4 runs in the 9th, which most teams can't do that. So for whatever reason, you know, we are kind of a late rally team. I'm not saying the Mariners are going to come back and win today. We normally are terrible in the morning. So if you're ever betting on the Mariners in the morning or early afternoon, don't most of the time, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to lose in the morning. They're not very good at home or on the road for whatever reason. You know, usually if the game is on in the evening and at home, that's the one that you're going to want to bet on, just to give you a heads up. But again, I watch every single game, all 162 plus playoffs, so that's how I know. I look at all the stats and the analytics every day. So, but every once in a while, you know, it'll buck the trend where they're a terrible morning team and then they end up winning. But we'll see if they end up doing it today. So, well, Locklear isn't an everyday player now since France is back, so you can't expect him to be able to be the hero every single time. So remember that. Baseball is the hardest sport to play. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. So next up for the Guardians, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI, Will Brennan. Predicted that he'd hit a home run 10 seconds later, and he did. They're bringing in Taylor Saucedo for Castillo. That's not good. Fuck. Batting second, third baseman, Daniel Schneemann. And batting third, center fielder, Tyler Freeman. Now, if we have to bring in Sauce for 1 out, right, then I like it. But when we bring him in at the top of an inning, not good. He probably will only last maybe 2 batters, and then they'll pull him more than likely. So we'll see what happens. Come on, baby. Where are we at on the likes? If you guys haven't smashed the like button just yet, do your boy a solid. We got 46 people watching. We're at 31 likes. Yes, thank you guys for all the individuals, Crypto and Blue Jay and Prime and all y'all. Jacob that came in. Blue Jay, appreciate y'all. 32 likes. We need 8 more to get to 40, which is fucking good for a morning stream. So thank you so much. We're at 10 on the dono, so we still need 90 to go to hit the goal there. But again, you know, for being an early morning stream, we want to try to get to 30 to 50 likes, just like we do in the evening games. And thank you to you guys. Appreciate y'all. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 Guardians. And I'm probably the only streamer that's doing this game as far as Mariners. So I'm always going to grind. I'm going to try to do about 95% of the games throughout the year, about 140 to 142 out of 162 regular season games. And really the only ones I'm going to miss are the early morning where I watch the game, but I just don't stream it. But I'm doing it today. 2 for 2 with a solo home run and a double for Will Brennan, a very underrated player here on this Guardian team. 0-2 count for Will. Into right field. Nice catch. Mitch Haniger robbing a double. Woo! I love that, baby. Good defense by Mitch Haniger. Next up, third baseman Daniel Schneemann. 0 for 2. See if we can make it 0 for 3. And hopefully we'll end up getting a few of these bats in the lineup late, like Cal Raleigh, and maybe he'll end up being the hero. Cal Raleigh is the best clutch hitter on the Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond. So hopefully we'll get a chance to get him plugged in for maybe Mitch Garver, and we'll get a little bit of magic here at the end of the game to make it more competitive. We got 50 people in the building. What's good? Trident's up. Bottom of the 6, 5-3 Guardians. 0-2 pitch from Saucedo. Jammed him. Let's go, baby. Shout out to True North, Trident, Lauren, Elliot, and Matt on the Twitter/X side. Appreciate y'all. Got 50 people watching. Pretty damn good for a morning. Let's go. And if the game gets really close in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, we'll get a spike in viewership. I'd almost hit. Did he hit him? Oh, close. But again, if it ends up being 5-5, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, then we'll spike from 50 to 100. So we'll see if the Mariners can make the comeback. 1-2 pitch from Sauce to Schneemann. Pitch is outside. 2-2 count. Cool photo of Daniel sliding in there. Schneemann towards first base, foul. Two and 3 record versus the Guardians, but we've also lost 8-0 twice. So it's fair to say, Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, Mariners, Royals. Those are the 5 best teams in the American League, and one of those 5 is going to the World Series. And a lot of people probably think it's going to be the Orioles and Yankees, just like they think it might be the Dodgers or Phillies in the National League. But again, you never know who might get hot and healthy late. The Phillies did 2 years ago. The Diamondbacks did last year. So it feels like the National League, usually will have that surprise team. The American League, if it's like the Astros and the Rangers and you feel that they're the best, they usually go all the way. So we'll see what ends up happening here. If an underdog, Guardians, Royals, or Mariners can do some magic, you can even throw the Minnesota Twins in there, or if it ends up being, the Orioles and Yankees getting themselves to the World Series against the Phillies, Dodgers, or someone else. But it's fair to say that those are the 4 best teams right now. Orioles, Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers. But again, a lot can change between now and after the All-Star break and as we get into October and September. Bottom of the 6, 5-3 Cleveland. Runner at first. Sauce throws to first. Runner at first with 1 out. Yeah, that's what happens, man. You want to talk about things getting cooked other than a parlay, it's the NBA. It's the worst thing to watch. Like, I literally would watch anything rather than the NBA. And the funny thing is, in the 80s and 90s growing up, the NBA was my favorite. Jordan and Drexler and Magic and Bird and Barkley and Malone and Kobe and Shaq and Iverson. Now it's fucking unwatchable. Dribbler, double play, throw to first, got him. There we go. Hell yeah. Sauce getting out of the inning, surprisingly. End of the 6th, 5-3 Guardians. All right, let's see who's up here for the Mariners. And at some point, they're going to have to make some changes and get some DHs in here, maybe in the 8th and the 9th. I would like to see them do it in the 7th, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it just yet. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, left fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI, Ryan Blitz. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. Heron coming in for Allen. Pitching change.
Let's see if we can get to 40 likes before the stream ends. Let's see where we're at. We're at 33. We need 7 more people before the game ends to hit the goal, to hit 40. 6 more people to hit the goal. Thank you so much, whoever just smashed that like button. Appreciate you. 6 more to get to the goal before the game ends. And we got 3 innings to do it. I think we can do that. Richie in the building. What's good? Appreciate you, Richie. Nice job by your Guardians. You guys are solid, man. And it's nice to be able to see some like small market teams, start to be good. Guardians, Mariners, Royals, and we already know that, and the Orioles are kind of small market too, and now they're at the top with the Yankees. So you guys are awesome, and it's a tough team to play. And again, we've lost you guys 8-0 twice, so far, once in Seattle and once yesterday. So I understand how good this team is, and I would be proud if I was a Guardian fan. Again, the Indians were always competitive back when I was a kid, but it seems like this team is getting to that next level to make that World Series push. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. We got Heron coming in for Allen. Robles behind in the count, 0-2. Appreciate you, Richie. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is inside. 1-2 count to Victor Robles. John in the building. What's good? Do your boy a solid. Smash that like button for your boy. How you feeling about your matchup with the Cardinals later this evening? You guys going to be able to get it done? 1-2 pitch. Pitch is low and into the zone. 2-2 count. Robles, little blooper, throw to first, no throw. There we go. Nice job, Victor. And I thought that if we could get anything out of Locklear, Robles, and Bliss, we would have a chance today. And Locklear hasn't done a whole lot, but Robles and Bliss have actually done a little bit, which is nice to see at the 7, 8, 9 hole, obviously for your respective team. I like our chances. Again, I think Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, Mariners, Royals, one of those teams is going to the World Series for the American League. So, again, we're first place. Normally it's the Astros or the Rangers, and we're in third. So it feels good, to have that 20-year drought and then to be able to make the playoffs in 2022 and Julio, Cal Raleigh, and George Kirby's rookie year. We barely missed the wild card last year, but then this year it's been pretty magical. So, again, I don't know if we're good enough to make the ALCS or the World Series, but again, we are a playoff team, and we'll see where it goes, as the year goes on, just like your guys' team. We're one of the top, 7 teams overall. We are 2 of the top 5 in the American League, and it feels good to be respected, and people like, what we get, out of the Mariners and out of the Guardians this year. And I don't think it's going to be like a fluke, like a one-trick pony. I think the Guardians and Mariners are going to be very good for many, many years, and the Royals and Twins are going to be competing with y'all, especially with the emergence of Bobby Witt Jr. this year. That guy's a superstar Hall of Famer. So, again, you guys got a very competitive division with 3 teams. Normally, we do too with the Astros and the Rangers, but they're not very good this year. The Mariners have taken their spot, and it feels good. It feels good not to be a little brother anymore. We're big brother now. So. Bullpen, we have a good closer, top 3 in Andres Munoz, but I don't really like our bullpen guys as much. They're kind of hit or miss. Starting pitching is usually, top 5. Overall, but again, we're like the worst hitting team out of the top 10. Again, we have the most strikeouts out of any team approaching, if you go back and look at the records, the way that we're pacing, we might be the most strikeout team in the last 100 years. So with all that being said, to be in first place, that actually is pretty big. So we do need to add a bat or 2 and a bullpen guy before the deadline. But with that being said, we're still in first place, even though we strike out like fucking way too much. So Bliss walked, Robles the second. Next up, J.P. Crawford. But again, I've been watching this team, even though I look young. I'm 42, so I've been watching this team play since 85. And I watch every game from beginning to end, all 162. So, again, I understand that, it's going to take some time for this team to be able to take the next step. But if we can consistently make the playoffs, that's the first step. And then after the consistency, then you got to have those magical years. And again, I've only really gone through maybe 4 quality years since I've been alive, right? 1995,
right? The 95 slide with Griffey, 97 with Griffey, as obviously the MVP, 2001, Ichiro's rookie year, and then 2022, when we made the playoffs and broke the drought with Cal Raleigh with the walk-off. So 4 good years out of being a fan, for 30 plus, so again, I've been watching this team for very long. So, I've been watching this team for 38 years, 39 years. So, but I feel like this next 20 years from, 2022 to 2042, we're going to see more records broken in these next 20 years with this organization than they have, ever. So it's an exciting time to be a Mariner fan. Top of the 7th, 5-3 Cleveland, 1-0 count to JP, which is low out of the zone, 2-0 count. Do I think Julio is going to be a Hall of Fame? I don't know. I hope so, but does he deserve to make the All-Star game this year? Fuck no. He's terrible this year. He was 30-30 last year. He's impatient in the box. He strikes out way too much. He chases. He's a pretty good defender and he's a pretty good bag runner. But even this year, he's had some, kind of bloopers where he's fucked up, with ground balls in the outfield and he's been caught out stealing a little bit more than normal. So JP pops it up. Should be a routine play there for the Guardians. There we go, 1 away. But, I don't know. Obviously, Julio Rodriguez is a top 5 popular guy, like an Aaron Judge or a Shohei Ohtani. The difference is those guys are consistent. Julio isn't yet. But I'm hoping one day Julio will be a consistent player, and then he will be in consideration possibly for a Hall of Fame spot. But if we're talking about players that came in at the same time, Bobby Witt Jr., that's a Hall of Famer. But that's a guy that's going to be Hall of Fame for sure. But Julio's got a ways to go to get on the Bobby Witt Jr. level. And they came in at the same time as 2 of the top 5 prospects in 2022. So, and that's me being real and honest. Like I said, some Mariner fans are like, oh yeah, Julio, Hall of Fame. Yeah, there's one thing to be popular and to sell jerseys and to be like a cool personality. But at the end of the day, what are you doing in the games? And I feel like Julio is not there yet. Again, he doesn't deserve to be in the All-Star game. They might, put him in the home run derby and he might get in as a fan vote. But as far as performance, he's been dog shit this year. Let's be honest. And the funny thing is, we strike out a lot. Julio's been dog shit, and some of the pitching has been kind of off, but we're still in first place. So we have a lot of room to go up, and that's what makes it exciting being a Mariner fan, and that's being real. No, so for me, I live in Oregon. So again, I met Ken Griffey Jr. when I was 7 years old, and it kind of changed my life forever. So when you end up meeting, the greatest, baseball player to live in this generation that didn't do steroids or PEDs, and then you end up getting the autograph, and when I'm in first grade when I was 7 in 1989, it changes your life forever. So for me, Mariners, Oregon Ducks, because I live here in Oregon. I don't really follow the NBA as much as I did before, but I'll go to Blazer games here and there. So Blazers, the Mariners, Oregon Ducks, but I can kind of follow everyone. And then as football, back when I was a kid, I'm a defensive-minded kind of fan. So the Seahawks and the Niners didn't really have defensive players, so I waited until I was 13. And then when the Tampa Bay Bucks drafted Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks, and John Lynch was there, and they had Mike Allstott, that fit my personality a little bit more. I like hard-hitting, decleaning hits. I like guys that put in a lot of effort. I'm a linebacker guy and a safety guy, so I like defense. And so that's really the only team that I follow as like my own team that's outside of the Pacific Northwest. So Mariners, Kraken, Blazers, Ducks, and then Bucks. But if the Seahawks or Niners, would have had defense back in the day, maybe I would have been one of those. But they didn't have, players that were good enough for me to be able to be a fan of. So, Dion in 94 for the Niners was close, but again, I felt like the Niners weren't going to win, after the, Joe Montana, Steve Young era, and I was right. So I didn't want to hop on to someone else's legacy and be a bandwagon fan of the Niners. Like, oh, look at me, 5 championships, and then all of a sudden I become a fan and then they win nothing afterwards, and that's exactly what's happened. The Niners have made it to the Super Bowl, but they haven't been able to get over the hump because they don't have a Joe Montana, Steve Young type of guy. Even though Brock Purdy's pretty good, he ain't Joe Montana and he ain't Steve Young, so facts. Pitch in the zone for a strike to Demo. Let's go, baby. Oh, nice. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got no bias. So again, I appreciate greatness for wherever it's at. Double play by the Guardians. Way to get out of that inning. And for me, that's what really separates me from everyone else on YouTube, is that I appreciate greatness. It's not about the team name on the front. It's about the name on the back, even if you're playing your rivals, So it's like, even though I'm not really enjoying the Astros, or the Rangers, because that's our number one rival, right? But I like Jeremy Pena a lot, right? I like Kyle Tucker a lot, not so much Jose Altuve with the cheating, but there's certain players on the opposing team, even though I don't like the Astros or Rangers, but I still have respect, for like Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia. I still got respect for, Jeremy Pena and Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez, not, obviously Jose Altuve with the cheating and whatnot. But, so it's good to be able to show that love and appreciation. And the reason that it's good is because you never know down the road, you could be like, fuck that guy. I hate this guy. And then 4 years later, you bring in that player to your team. And then are you going to be like, fuck that guy? Probably not. You're going to be rooting for him. So, I always try to be able to keep an open mind with the players and not be biased and a hater and just appreciate greatness wherever it's at. So. JT, he's been dog shit. Okay, let's be honest. Did anyone anticipate Julio to have numbers the way he is? Yeah, I don't expect him to hit 300 to 400, and he's been getting slightly better with the hits, and seeing the plate better. But if you watch every game beginning to end like me, and I don't think that you're watching every single game beginning to end, he's been getting errors on ground balls in the outfield. He's been robbing home runs, but he's been very sloppy in the outfield. He's been getting caught, stealing bags a little bit more and being a little bit lazy, running to first as well. He's not seeing the baseball very well. He's not hitting home runs. He's been able to get the hits up. But if we're talking about Julio Rodriguez and who he is, this is not a good year for him at this point. He's a guy that should be able to get 30-30, 40-40, 50-50, right? And not a guy that's, sitting under 10 home runs at this point in the season. Will he be able to get hot and possibly get to 15 to 20 before the season ends? Yes, but for Julio Rodriguez standard, that's a failure. If it's some other jobber and some scrub, that's fine. That's good numbers. But we're talking about a guy that might be a Hall of Fame player, and right now those numbers are not good. And that's, like I said, he's a hell of a different standard, because he's Julio Rodriguez. He's not Ty France. He's not Victor Robles. He's not Tyler Locklear. He's Julio Rodriguez. It's different. You got to hold certain guys to a different standard. So, like, anyone thinking that Julio's having a good season right now hasn't been watching the games. He's not been good. He's been a little bit better as of late, but he still, chases way too much. But you could say that for every Mariner player. We're the number one strikeout team and possibly in the last 100 years. So it's not just a Julio problem, it's a Mariner problem. So, and Julio's like my favorite player besides Cal Raleigh. So again, a lot of people are just going to brush it off and act like everything is okay because it's Julio and we're Mariner fans. But if we're actually being honest and real, you would want to say the same thing about Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani if they weren't playing that well. You just can't give them a free pass because they're Ohtani, Judge, and J-Rod. You got to be able to call a spade. And then eventually he'll get better. And then hopefully he'll be a 30-30 player, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bags or better. And Julio's got the potential to be a 30-30, 40-40, 50-50 guy. And that's why, we have to be able to be honest about his production. But we're still in first place. So it still feels good, but he could be much better. So that's fact. Legion of Boom, you got to understand, though, NA, I'm 42. So if I ended up picking my teams, a lot of the teams I've already had since the 80s, the last team that I picked was in the 90s, 1995, probably before you were born. So, again, Legion of Boom was much, much later. You might think I'm 20 or 30. I'm 42. So, again, I haven't forgotten about the Legion of Boom, but I already picked my NFL team in 1995. Every other team I picked in the 80s. So, you got to understand that. I'm not as young as you think I am. Teoscar, I'm happy for him. We lost Teoscar, Eugenio Suarez, and Jared Kelenic. I wish, those guys were still here. But again, it's all about business and it's about money. So sometimes you can't afford all those guys. And honestly, it's a better move for Teoscar to be on the Dodgers. He's been great for them. Mookie got hurt with a broken hand. So, you got Mookie, you got Freddie, you got Shohei, you got Teoscar. Less pressure on Teoscar to be good, on the Dodgers rather than the Mariners. And I think it's a good fit for him. And hopefully they sign him long-term there. But do I wish we had Teoscar? Yeah. I wish he was still here. But again, you're not going to be able to keep everybody here in Seattle. So. Bottom of the seventh, 5-3 Guardians. I got a lot of Julio memorabilia. I got a Julio foul ball in his rookie year. I got 3, PSA, BGS autos of Julio. So obviously I'm not going to buy, a player and spend big money, $200, $300, $400 per card if I don't believe in them. But again, if anyone was predicting that Julio would be playing like this in this particular year, it's a little shocking, but at least on the bright side, Julio doesn't have these numbers and we're in last place or in third or fourth place. We're still in first place. But again, the strikeout problems are not just Julio, it's the whole team. We're fucking terrible at hitting. We have 0 300 hitters. So to be a top 10 team, to have 0 300 hitters, but we have a top 5 pitching staff and one of the best closers, that's helping us. Imagine if we didn't have Andres Munoz and we didn't have Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller, and Brian Wu. We'd be fucked. We'd be like third place at best, maybe ahead of the Angels and the Athletics, but definitely not on the fucking Rangers or Astros level. So we have to be thankful that we have certain pieces, but we need more. We need to make a move, for a hitter or two before the trade deadline. It doesn't have to be Luis Robert Jr. or Vlad Jr. or Bo Bichette, but we'll see what happens. It could be a lower name guy, and then another guy in the bullpen possibly as well. So we'll see where it goes. But again, for the amount of money that we paid Julio, and based off his production, it just seems like he's a little unfocused, this year. And there's a lot of pressure to be Julio Rodriguez. You're in the same name category as a Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, even though your numbers aren't the same, but you're put in that same category. So there's a lot of pressure to be like the man, but really the most reliable player and the MVP of the Mariners this year has been Cal Raleigh. He's been the most consistent clutch hitter late in games to be able to help us out. And anytime the pitchers are getting down on themselves, who comes out there to lift them up? Cal Raleigh. So, and hopefully Cal Raleigh ends up being a Mariner for life, because if you can't pay a guy like that, what the hell are we doing? Bottom of the seventh, 5-3 Guardians. Runner at first. 1-1 count from Stanek to Stephen Kwan. I just call it how I see it. Some people will agree with me, some people won't. But again, unless you're watching every single game from beginning to end, and you're reading as much as I am and watching the film, it's going to be hard to be able to have that same kind of conversation unless we're on the same page, And again, like some people that are occasional watchers, they might see a little bit here and there. But if I'm watching and streaming almost every game, beginning to end, even when we're getting our ass kicked 8-0, there's a lot of Mariner fans that turned that fucking game off yesterday. I don't got that option. I got to finish the game, even though the game was already over by like the 4th or 5th inning, So I got to be able to evaluate every pitch, every at-bat, every fucking decision, every move, But we got a bright future, let me tell you. 2-2 count to Kwan, popped up, jammed him. There we go. Julio's there. 1 away. Stephen Kwan is the OG, baby. Next up, second baseman, 2 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs, Andres Jimenez. And Jimenez homered to center 413 feet in the bottom of the 5th, and Stephen Kwan was on board to give him a 4-3 lead at that point of the game. 5 runs, 8 hits for Cleveland, 3 runs, 5 hits for the Mariners. And again, if you end up being a team that bats 200 to 220 as a team, how good are you going to be? 0 300 hitters, a lot of guys that are underwhelming, but we just have to be able to keep working at it. And then eventually we'll get one player batting 300, hopefully a couple others batting 270, 280. And then we can bring up the batting average, hopefully one day where we can be like the big boys like the Orioles and the Yankees and the Guardians and a few of these other teams where we can be batting 230 to 260 as a team. And then that might end up giving us an additional 5 to 10 wins. And that might be the difference between going to the ALDS, to the ALCS, or World Series. Bottom of the seventh, 5-3 Cleveland. Runner at first, 2-1 count from Stanek. Best mullet in the game to Andres Jimenez. Well, we traded Seawald, right, and got rid of him, and we brought in Ryan Bliss, Dominic Canzone, right, as well as, one sec here, and Josh Rojas. And then we ended up doing another trade for Luke Raley for Jose Caballero. So, again, we're not going to be able to afford. Jared Kelenic, a little immature, ended up kicking a cooler and breaking his foot. So, they decided to move off from him, and he's on the Braves now. And then, obviously, Eugenio Suarez was a fan favorite, but we decided to move on. And then Rojas is playing that position very well, and Eugenio Suarez is struggling with the Diamondbacks. So, again, good vibes only. And then, obviously, the one that we wanted probably to keep the most was Teoscar, but we kind of knew that he was going to go somewhere else, wanted to go to a winner, a contender, went to the Dodgers. He's played well. So I would assume the Dodgers will sign him long-term after this year. At least I would if I was LA. They got plenty of money over there. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even close to being where we could be, and we're still in first place. Nice punch out by Stanek. Like, when the number one strikeout team in the last 100 years, that's what we're pacing for. Bullpen kind of struggles. The starting pitching staff, 4 out of 5 have a 500 record, but the ERAs are around 3, right? You know what I mean? Nobody batting 300, some of the guys struggling. And all that being said, we're first place. It's an exciting time to be, a Mariner fan. And even though we got a long ways to go, it's exciting. This is one of the more exciting years as a fan. And you got to think, we had 20 years of not making the playoffs. A lot of Mariner fans, you have to be mentally tough to be able to go through 20 years of not making the playoffs once. I mean, think about how many fans out there that wouldn't be able to handle that. And, we still show up, we still watch the games, we still cheer as if we made the playoffs 20 years in a row. Next up, Jose Ramirez, another great player. 273 average, 18 homers, 64 ribbies, an all-star. A guy at third base. He can DH, he can switch hit, he can do it all. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. It all depends on what you like with the baseball cards. I like Topps Heritage for baseball cards, but again, it all depends on how much money you have. Bowman Chrome. I mean, a lot of baseball cards now are very, very expensive. Back in my day, you could get 20 to 30 cards for $1 to $5 a pack. Right now, it's like you pay $50 to $100 for a pack. You get 4 cards, and then you hope you get an auto of a player that's relevant, not some scrub. So it kind of depends on how much money you got and what you're looking at. But I've been collecting cards for a long time. We need 4 more likes to get to 40. We're at 36. We got 51 people watching. We got another person that smashed the like button. We need 3 more to get to 40, and we'll hit the goal. But I'm never going to bullshit anybody on this channel. Like I said, I do plenty of reading and, a lot of film study. I try to treat every team as my own and, again, not have that bias and, got to call a spade a spade. Nice punch out by Stanek. End of the 7th inning, 5-3 Guardians. Now the Mariners are one of the top 2 teams in the 8th and the 9th inning, like the Dodgers. So we'll see what happens here. And we need a late rally to see if we can end up tying it and maybe going into extras or finding a way to win this game in regulation. We know how good the Guardians are, but again, we'll see what happens here. And we are one of the top 2 teams in Major League Baseball in the 8th and the 9th inning. Not saying that they're going to do it here today, but we're a terrible morning team. But we got 3 runs, in the morning, which is kind of surprising. We got our ass kicked yesterday, 8-0. So I'm hoping that we can find a way to tie this up and see what happens late in the matchup. And at the beginning of the game, I was kind of thinking it would be a 5-4 game. It's 5-3 right now. So far, the prediction is pretty close, and we'll see what happens. All right, see who's up here next for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up, baby. Bring that electricity to the lineup. We need you, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go. Batting second, 0 for 3 with the K, catcher Mitch Garver. I would like them to pinch hit and put Cal Raleigh in at this point, but I don't know if they'll do it. Probably not. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a run and a base on the ball, DHing Ty France. So if it was me and I was coaching, right, you have Julio here, I would pinch hit Mitch Garver for Cal Raleigh, and then I would pinch hit for Josh Rojas for Ty France. And if we do that, Julio, Cal, Rojas, I think that would give us a better chance to come back here in the 8th inning, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. But if I was Scott Service, that's what I would do at this point. Hell, I would have made the change in the 7th inning. So that way you have a couple at-bats potentially in the 7th and the 9th instead of just maybe one at-bat to try to get a rally. But again, it is what it is. Let's go, baby. All right, we got George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, and Bryce Miller, and we're going against the Miami Marlins. 3:30 Pacific, obviously tomorrow, and I will be live for all of those games in the series. And after we play the Marlins on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got the Tampa Bay Rays on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Grind, grind, grind. Let's go. Top of the 8th, 5-3 Guardians. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Go, baby. Come on, J-Rod. You got to think a superstar like J-Rod, should be hitting, 20, 25, 30. And you would think if he can get, hopefully better in his career, it would be great to be able to see Julio hit 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 home runs, at some point in his career before he retires. But again, there's a difference. He'll never be Ken Griffey Jr. And there's a lot of pressure, when you have Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, and you're trying to be the 5th guy. You're trying to be the generational player for the Mariners. A lot of pressure. But the bottom line is you're never going to be Ken Griffey Jr. You just got to be the best Julio you can be. Little dribbler, throw to first, 1 away. And again, he doesn't see the plate, the way that those other guys did. He doesn't see the plate like Ichiro or Edgar, or Ken Griffey Jr. But hopefully one day he will. 1 away with that dribbler out to first. Next up, here we go. Scott Service listened. They ended up making the change. I gave him a little text message. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, the #1 hitter for the Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond. He's been our MVP here in 2024. Thank you, Scott, for listening. There you go. Yeah, Felix is up there too. But obviously Randy Johnson, if we're talking about pecking order, depending on how we have a top 5 or top 6. But if we're talking about a top 6, yeah, Felix is definitely in that category. He didn't get any run support either. If I could have 2 players, in the last 20 years or 15 years that were on the Mariners that would be awesome on this team, it would be Felix Hernandez as well as Kyle Seager. Those would be the 2 guys that I would like to be able to have on this roster. 0-2 pitch to Cal, pitches outside, 1-2 count. But I grew up obviously in the 80s, so you got to think, I was born in 82. So, I got to see Griffey. I got to see, Randy Johnson, the big unit. I got to see Edgar. I got to see Ichiro. Felix is up there as well. But that was a little bit later in the Mariner, organization. And when Felix was good, we weren't going to the playoffs. At least with those other guys, we were. So that's the difference. But he did have the perfect game, and, Felix was amazing when he was here. He definitely held it down for us for many, many years. 1-2 pitch, and there goes Cal Raleigh, 2 away. Would have liked to see him come in the 7th inning, but it is what it is. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Ty France. All right, come on, Ty. Someone's got to do something here, otherwise we're going to lose 5-3 or 5-4. But I like the decision to put Cal in. I mean, more times than not, he'll help. But that was a good punch out there by Smith. First pitch to Ty France for a strike, 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. We need 1 more sub to get to 20,300. Big swing and a miss. 1 sub. If there's someone out there on the Twitter/X side or on the YouTube side that hasn't subbed to the channel and you want to be 20,300, we need 1 sub to get there. Let's see if we get there before the game ends. 1 sub away. 0-2 pitch. Fouled it off the catcher. Count remains 0-2 to Ty France. Come on, Ty. see where we're at on the likes as well. Where are we at? We're at 37. We need 3 more before the game ends to get to 40 to hit the goal. 2 more to get to the goal. We're at 38. Thank you to whoever that was, number 38. I appreciate you. Let's go, baby. One-two count to France. Check swing. Did he go? Low and outside. 2-2 count. Class A in the 9th. That's a game over for any team playing the Guardians. He's money. Pitches outside. 3-2 count by Smith. Now, Castillo already went out a long time ago. He's not going to get another strikeout if you had that for your parlay. There's strike 3. It went Castillo, Saucedo, and then Stanek. So Castillo only pitched 5 innings. So, yeah. It's not like back in the day when I was growing up where you had like Nolan Ryan pitching all 9 innings. You don't really see that anymore. And the only time you will in this modern day game is if someone's going for like a no-hitter, you know, and then you might see someone go. But even then, sometimes guys get pulled a little early, like the 7th or the 8th inning. So, yeah, Castillo, you're not going to get another K with him. And he only had 4. So, again, a lot of the Mariner pitchers, you know, in the past could get 8, 9, 10 Ks. But as of late, it's more like 4 to 7, and they have to rely on the defense. So if you were hoping for another K to win your parlay, unfortunately, the parlay is fucked. I'm sorry. All right, let's see who's up for the Guardians here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Next up for the Guardians, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a K. First baseman, Josh Naylor. Batting second, 1 for 3 and a K. Catcher, David Fry. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Right fielder, very underrated in this lineup, Will Brennan. Probably the most underrated player in the lineup because you already know what you're going to get out of Steven Kwan. Batting 400, playing great, just like Luis Ariz. Andres Jimenez, another underrated player that doesn't get enough credit. Jose Ramirez, the all-star, can switch hit, do everything at third base. And then Naylor, obviously the stud. Every once in a while will hit a home run or maybe even 2 in a game like he did yesterday. And then Will Brennan, you never can count him out. His home runs and his batting average might not, leap off the page. But again, I had a feeling that he was going to go yard today. And about 10 seconds later, he did. So a lot of times you can have that kind of ESP when you feel it. Or bringing in Trent Thornton, that could be really good or really bad. So you only lost 5. That's not bad. You're good then. Baseball's hard to predict, man. Just like in any sports betting, it's not a guaranteed thing. That's why they do it. Let's go, baby. 5-3 game, and I had a feeling that the Guardians were going to play pretty well today. They are, a top 5 team. Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, Royals, Mariners. Those are the top 5 in the American League, and one of those teams is going to the World Series this year. Most people would think it'd be Orioles and Yankees, but don't ever, underestimate the Guardians, the Royals, or the Mariners getting hot late. You never know. And then if there's a sleeper team on the outside, it'd probably be the Minnesota Twins as like the number 6 team in the American League. Pitch is high, out of the zone, but called strike. 0-2 count to Josh Naylor. 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the 5th. Bottom of the 8th, 5-3 Cleveland. And I wish they would have kept the name Indians over the Guardians. Guardians isn't terrible, but it would be much cooler if you still had the Cleveland Indian name and then the logo. One-two count. Chop foul by Naylor. Count remains 1-2. Naylor trying to go for a career high 20 home runs. Every at bat, he looks like he's trying to go yard, and he's been successful. Brett Thornton on the mound for the Mariners. Sometimes good, sometimes terrible. You could pretty much say that about any player on the Mariners. Sometimes good, sometimes terrible. 1-2 count from Thornton to Naylor. One-two pitch. Pitch is inside. 2-2 count. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Pitch is inside. 3-2 count. A couple more likes to hit the goal to hit 40. Let's go. Three-two pitch to Naylor. Popped up. Should be a routine play for the Mariners here at third base. Demo's got it. One away. Next up for the Guardians, 1 for 3 with a K, catcher David Fry. First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 count. Come on, Mariners, we got to get out of this, and we got to have a miracle. 9th inning. Could end up being a 5-3 final, a 5-4 final. Not sure if we're going to be able to get 2 runs in the 9th, but we are a very good 9th inning team. But again, normally we're good in the 8th and the 9th at home, and once in a while we're good in the 8th and the 9th on the road. But again, you got to give credit where credit's due. But realistically, the game will probably end at a 5-3 score or a 5-4 score. You know, because if you're actually looking at who's coming in as the Guardian closer, Clase, the guy doesn't give up a whole lot. So, and knowing that, that's why I'm saying that. But you never know. Every once in a while, he might get fucked up. But it also depends on who we have, in the box. Big swing and a miss. There goes Fry. Nice punch out by Thornton. Out number 2. Mariner Moose will come out for that. Nice punch out. Next up for the Guardians, right fielder Will Brennan. First pitch in the zone for a strike. 0-1 count. Let's go, baby. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 1-1 count. 250 average, 7 homers, 23 ribbies in 2024 for Will Brennan. One of their sleeper players like Andres Jimenez. Never count them out. They'll fucking do you damage. Popped up. Is that going to stay fair? No. Bounces off that dugout. Nice grab by that fan in the 15th row. Nice souvenir. 1-2 count from Thornton to Brennan. Pitch is high and outside. We need one more like. We're at 39. One person from the Twitter/X side to hop over to the YouTube channel, or someone that's in the room that hasn't done it yet. We need one more in the 9th inning to hit the goal. We're at 39. We need 40. Chopper. And that one is towards first base and foul to the ball boy. Bottom of the 8th, 5-3 Guardians. Nobody on. 2 outs. 2-2 count from Thornton to Will Brennan. Home run and a double earlier today. Two-two pitch. Brennan crushes that one. Back. Gone! In the front row. Now the game is over. 6-3 Guardians. Good job, Thornton. You bum. Nice job by the Guardians. And now it's not over, but pretty much, especially when you give up a home run late like that, we would have to put up 3 or 4, and that's not going to happen against Clase. Nice job by Will Brennan. 2nd homer of the day, and I had a good feeling that he was going to play well today. Had that first at bat, and then 10 seconds later he homered, and then he did it again. He had 2 home runs by Josh Naylor yesterday, and now you got 2 by Brennan today. Homered in the second and homered in the eighth. Nice job by Will Brennan. Another reason why, you can't sleep on certain players. I know when the players are underrated, and just because the stat line doesn't jump off the page doesn't mean they can't come up big with big plays like that. Nice job by Brennan. First multi-career home run game. There you go, Zay. 6-3 Guardians. Shows you how good this team really is. Let them know, stand with Ukraine. Let's get that one last like to hit the 40. See if we can get it before the game ends. Next up is Daniel Schneemann. Bottom of the eighth, 6-3 Guardians. 1-2 pitch. And outside of the zone, but called strike three. An Angel Hernandez call. But it is what it is. The damage is already done with Will Brennan with his second home run today. And now the Mariners have to go against Clase. And we have to get 3 runs to tie, 4 to win. Not going to happen. And again, more than likely the score is going to end 6-3. So I'm not trying to be negative, just being honest and real. Nice job by Cleveland tonight, or this afternoon, this morning. All right, let's see who's up for Seattle to give us this last opportunity to see if we can get at least one more. 6-4 would be good. I predicted maybe a 5-4 game, and we got 6-3, so pretty close. See if we can get one more run before the game ends. And then we got a 3-game set with the Miami Marlins, much easier, right? And then the Tampa Bay Rays. So it'll be a little bit easier after sweeping the Rangers. Only winning 1 out of 3 out of the Guardians, which is kind of what we thought. We were hoping for 2 out of 3, but, Cleveland is good. And we'll see if we can end up getting 2 out of 3 out of the Marlins or a possible sweep, and 2 out of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays or possibly a sweep. But if we play like shit, we might only win 1 out of 3 against the Marlins or 1 out of 3 against the Rays. So we can't get too overconfident. So let's see what happens here. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, Mitch Haniga. Batting second, playing first base, Tyler Locklear. And batting third, left fielder, Victor Robles. All right, we need a miracle comeback here. Come on, Ems. One more like to hit 40. Help your boy out. Emmanuel Clase. 35 games, a .79 ERA, 34.1 innings pitched, and listen to this stat. 35 Ks, 3 fucking walks. The guy is lights out. So it's very possible that he'll punch out 1, 2, 3, game over. But we'll see where it goes. Next up, Mitch Haniger. First pitch to Haniger, 100 miles an hour out of the zone, 1-0 count. That's a crazy stat line. So good. Throw to first. 1 away. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Haniger grounded out to second. Now they're bringing in Hollywood Josh Rojas as a pinch hitter. Come on, Rojas. We need some magic, baby. Rojas leading off for Locklear here. Top of the ninth, 6-3 Guardians. Rojas. First pitch, chop foul. 0-1 count. Come on, baby. Come on, Hollywood. And then Luke Raley will come in. So that gives us the best chance to at least somewhat try to come back. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike for a 0-2 count. Rojas doesn't like it. (0-2 pitch. Pitches outside. 1-2 count from Clase to Rojas. Then we'll get Luke Raley coming in next. Rojas chops that one foul. Let's go, baby. Top of the ninth, 6-3 Guardians. 1-2 pitch. Rojas, chopper to first. And 2 away. All right, we're down to our last out here. And one of the best moves the Mariners have made as a trade, Luke Raley for Jose Caballero on the Tampa Bay Rays. Jose's been decent for them, but Luke Raley's been better for our Mariners. Let's go, Luke Raley. 256 average, 8 homers, 20 ribbies. Let's go, Luke Newcomb. Have a good day, baby. Have a good day, baby. Let's go. 256, 8 home runs, 20 ribbies. Shout out to all the people that came through and watched the game. Have a great rest of your guys' Thursday. And again, we're approaching the weekend. 1-0 pitch to Luke Raley in the top of the ninth, 6-3 Guardians. Pitches outside, but on the corner for a strike, 1-1 count. Take care, Blue Jay. Take care, JT. Have a great one. Enjoy your Thursday. It looks like it's going to be a hot one here in Oregon. I got to go take Paisley on another walk and eat some lunch. 1-1 count to Luke. Chopped it towards first, foul. Behind in the count 1-2. That last pitch, 101 miles an hour. The fans start to stand for the Guardians here. Let's go, Luke. Clase, 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. And that is it. Punched him out. Final score, Cleveland Guardians 6, Seattle Mariners 3. What a hell of a job by this Guardian team. And again, they are the real deal. They are a World Series contender. Shout out to them. The Mariners now will be playing tomorrow, and I will be live streaming it in the afternoon. We're going to be going against the Miami Marlins on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the Tampa Bay Rays on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I appreciate everyone coming through. You guys are awesome. And again, shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need one more like to get to 40. So if you're just hopping in, please do that for your boy. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Okay. GG Guardians. You guys are awesome.